Wait. So Gail, so you just had Thanksgiving dinner in Canada, even though it's Monday and it's not November yet, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
I'll
normal.
tell me what you ate, and I'll tell you whether or not it was really Thanksgiving.
Turkey, mashed potatoes, we had green beans. We also had a lot of Asian stuff because,
Oh,
lots of
definitely not
Asian.
Thanksgiving now.
But yeah, and so we had not only the regular fixings, but also we had like pancit, which is like a Filipino
Yeah.
like vermicelli thing. It was
Yes.
amazing.
Super
I
thin
was so
noodles. Yeah.
excited. Yes, it was awesome. I loved it. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm happy. I'm full.
Was there
I can
anything?
roll over.
Was there anything there? Cranberry.
Yeah, the gravy. I'm not a big fan of cranberry, so I never really talk about it.
I don't know,
Oh,
guys. I don't know
were
if it
these
was really
all
Thanksgiving.
American products or were
What
these like
about
those
the
lesser Canadian ones?
what about the stuffing?
Stuffing? We didn't have any stuffing in the
Oh yeah,
turkey
what
because it
wasn't
ruins the
Thanksgiving?
turkey. What monster are you?
Ruins the
Wasn't
turkey.
Thanksgiving.
Um,
Oh my
It
goodness.
totally ruins it.
Gail, I really did like you before you said that. Like, I actually thought you were a really good person, but now,
Oh my goodness.
now I think I have to go ruin your credit score.
Ruin her credit score. Are you gonna wait? Deimos, do you have superpowers?
It's not that hard.
I just need your date of birth, the last four digits of your social,
I just need
of
your
your first
first
pet.
name and like the city you live in.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Man, we buy a lot of wedding dresses in Florida. I'll tell you that.
Oh jeez.
Oh god.
All right. Let's do this. Everybody's in game. We're starting. Actually, I've been recording for a while now, but never mind.
Oh god.
Oh, for legal reasons, I will not ruin her credit score. But if there is oil in Canada, let me know on the down low. We will freedom you so hard.
Kale, come to the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We're so brave over here.
Right? I'm like my dad is totally not working on like like natural oil and gas and Michelle and all. Like that's totally not happening at the moment.
All right. Previously in the GodBreaking, you guys journeyed to the lost city of Anwen, capital of the what was formerly the greatest of the undersea nations. You went there in the hopes of finding the third tide shard. The tide shard, Might of the Sea, is what it's called. You've seen the other two, the Light of the Sea and the Mind of the Sea, but this is the third one that you're searching for. You know that each of the tide shards is a piece of the vigil of Verkul, god of the ocean waves. So you're trying to reclaim the third piece, and also rescue the city of Lumos that is currently being besieged by an innumerable horde of Depatian trench dwellers. These crab-like crustacean creatures. So you guys made your way into Anwen, which looked like this from the outside. And on the outside, there was this big, monstrous thing that was fighting off the Megaleths. You made your way inside the city, and underneath that statue, for some reason, Deimos just pushed over a statue and found and rolled a natural 20 or something like that,
Yes.
and found a tunnel. Rolled a natural 20 on an investigate check, and found a tunnel that went deep underneath the ground. So you guys walked along that tunnel for like I forget what it was, probably an hour or so, and you encountered the profane one, who was part of the undergrowth of this dark root-like growth that was surrounding the city of Anwen, but also holding it together. And he cautioned you about talking to his mistress, who has basically been waiting for you guys. And you stepped into once you passed the profane one, you stepped into her dark chamber.
Giggity, giggity.
Not that dark chamber. and you talk to Sashier, and you found out that she has a long history, and is an ancient power of untold might. The former Queen of Hell, ruler of the 9 levels of Beator. She talked about how back when all was chaos, she ruled and brought it to order, and during her rule, a baby was found, a young child was found, and that child glowed. His eyes glowed with a red fire, and she raised him as her own. And he eventually overthrew her. I think that's what I said. Yes. He challenged her, and she rose to meet him, but she realized that she was not even anything close to a challenge before him. So she went into hiding, and she ran, and eventually she found her way here, a place where no creature from hell would ever think to look, because it's really basically at the base of Mount Celestia itself. Deep under the waves, underneath the surface of Lunaria, she stayed. And eventually a civilization was built on top of the place where she was staying. So Anwen was built on top of where she was. She'd offered you power to defeat Asmodeus in the form of hell spikes that were each a significant portion of her power. She said that, what did she say? All that she asks for in return is a piece of your soul. 1/20th of your soul after you have been successful in defeating Asmodeus. So a 5% of your soul. And you guys talked about this to great extent, and you guys had determined that 5% of your soul was not enough to give her power over you of any kind. And she mentioned that what she was offering you was a great deal more of herself than what she was asking of you afterwards. So we've ended last session with you guys looking at the hell spikes as she plucked them from her crown. Each hell spike in turn. So let me put them up here. I tweaked them slightly. I made one of them a bit stronger. I made a couple of them a bit stronger.
Can't leave out the part where I convinced her to make babies with Elwyn, though.
Yeah, Elwyn was... Okay, so then you guys went back and forth talking about whether or not you should take the shards or take her deal or something like that. And I think we got to the point where, Adis, you were offering to expend the last bit of your soul, which we had determined was about 15%, to purchase 3 of the hell spikes. And Elwyn was going back and forth trying to decide whether or not he wanted to expend 5% of his soul to purchase his. I think that's what we left it on.
Don't do it, Aaron. Demons don't need no spike. You guys can have spikes.
No, Adis is offering to purchase yours, Deimos.
No, but Adis is a good boy, and Adis can give Erwin the spike. Erwin, Renly, and Adus has spikes. Deimos don't need no hair spike. Deimos will take a purgatory spike, but I don't like the name hair spike. I'm a thinker here.
Yes, and as we left last week, Elwyn...
You can call it whatever you want, bro.
Alright, so also, Elwyn, last week we ended up with you rolling into the dice tower. I have a screenshot of the roll, and I went back and listened to the video, because when you said it live, I couldn't understand what you were saying, because you and Renly were speaking at the same time, so I didn't hear what you said. I think you had actually said that if you rolled high, you would decide right then and there, right? But I didn't hear that.
That's
So-
what I said.
So we have a roll. We have a roll, and I think you said that you wanted it to mean something. So let's figure out how you guys want to play this out. The 5 spikes are floating basically in the water in front of you. Okay? And you guys can read them if you wish. And she's offering these to you for the percentage guarantee of your soul after victory has been secured. What do you guys want to do?
I want to ask her if I can ask another slight favor. Because apparently they don't want one, but I'm gonna take one. I think no matter what. So in exchange for 5%, I would also ask her for a slight favor. If she would be amenable, I would like to borrow her friend outside for a few days.
And which friend, pray tell, are you speaking of?
Oh, the big
Profane
tall
one or profane two?
Whichever one's on the outside with the big laser beam eyes.
Ah, the second of my profane creatures. What do you wish to do with him?
Well, you see, there's these fish that need saving because they have some very incompetent, ignorant, childish leaders that are about to get them all killed. And he'd be mighty helpful.
That one's role is to defend myself from the swarms of my red son's assassin creatures that he's left here in these waters.
We'll
Were
kill
I
them
to
for you
send
on
him
our way
off
out.
with you? Ah. If you were to accomplish that, then I would indeed lend him your aid. Or to your aid.
Sweet. Sweet, we got a deal. I'll reach down and grab the gray one.
You're taking the gray
Or
gray shark.
You said you tweaked them?
I changed them all. I changed them slightly. The gray one hasn't changed.
Because if I remember right, I didn't feel like one really suited me.
Here, can you see them all?
Yeah, I got them all open. So I think the blue suits Deimos the most because it's like a melee-oriented one. Black. And the black one is still Renly.
You guys. Elwyn, Deimos, Renly.
I have made my decision.
I'm still shaking my head at everything, going, no, no.
Okay.
I have a question about wording.
Okay.
So for the green one, it says you're immune to piercing damage. Is that piercing damage of any kind?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your decision, Owen? I don't want to, but let's use the roll.
Okay. So what are you saying with the roll?
High, I do not take one. Low, I do take one.
High is no. Yes. Low is yes.
That's
Correct.
your final answer.
We should probably take this out.
So
Yeah, just for the record.
high equals no. Low equals yes. Just for the record, okay?
Correct.
Correct? All right. So, remember you had bartered. You and Adis had bartered to get a little bit of something extra from Sachet if you did take the shard. If you all took the shard, basically.
What was it that we got?
That one gets laid.
Oh yeah.
All right. So Elwyn, this was what you rolled.
Oh, fuck you, bitch. I don't
Yeah,
want it.
Okay.
But the sucks thing was just for L1 to take one. We don't all have to take one. That was if L1 were to do the 5% for one, would she sleep with them? And she said yes.
But all right. So all right. Decisions. Everybody, what are you gonna do?
I'm for sure taking one. I just don't know which one yet.
Okay. Deimos and Renly.
Since she agreed to let me borrow her friend if we kill the fuckers outside.
You can go next.
Renly.
I am totally like pouring tea, shaking my head, and in the corner going, No, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm like whispering from.
It's okay, Rinley. If you don't want to take one, then don't.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
It'll just make fighting Osmodius 25 times harder if you don't, but it'll be okay.
Okay, yeah, it'll be hell on earth in any case, or on the whatever plane we are on. Yes.
Although, just for the record, Rinley, there is one in there that has an ability called Heartbreaker.
He's pulling it out. Hey, ripping it, Darren. Yeah, pull the last speck out of her head, bitch. Suck a dick. Didn't even see me come. I'm James. I wanted that one. I wanted that spike. She never said which spike I could take, so.
You pull it out, and it's dildo shaped.
It's still in my hand. Now I beat the shit out of her. Yeah.
She says, she says that wasn't a hell spike. That was just where she was storing her entertainment.
Oh my god.
It's been a very long time under the sea here.
I need a beer for this game. Hold on.
Like.
Wait. Okay. Well then, I'm keeping this, but I'm not taking your spike. As much as I would like to, and I know you're trying to help.
Hey, Deimos, are you scared?
I wouldn't say scared, but I'm gonna go...
It sure sounds like the almighty Deimos is scared of a
Deimos...
little twig. Of a little twig. You are scared of a twig.
I mean, twigs can
I cannot
be
believe the god-slaying
like
Deimos. I cannot believe the god-slaying Deimos is afraid of a stick.
I mean, sticks and stones can break our bones. I mean, that is how the saying goes. I mean, have you heard that?
That's what we got you for, Rinley. If our bones get broken, you can mend them.
But if she also had stones with these sticks, we would all be destroyed. We'd be boned. I mean, it's the rules of this game.
Elwyn throws stones at people all the time, and we're still okay.
See, what happens to them though? Those people are fucked.
Yep, because they don't have a Rinley to patch them up.
And this broad has sticks, and Elwyn has stones. What if she could take those stones from Elwyn's and have the sticks?
Then she might have a bag of dicks.
If that's what your math taught you, I will go with it for you.
No, that just flowed in a rhyme.
Yes, but I'm sorry, young lady. I really would like to take this for the bonuses, but I do not think that my friend's store could go. I don't want it to go anywhere.
You can always offer up part of yours then.
She ain't getting no part of any store.
Alright, so Deimos is a no. Renly's a no.
It's so bad, but I can't take it.
Alright, Renly's a no. Owen, you back?
I think I'll wait for Elwyn to choose before I choose one.
Ellen, what do you say?
Oh, I said the roll said no.
Low was a yes, yo.
What do you say to her?
I say, as tempting as it is, I cannot accept it, even though I want to so bad.
Wait, I'm confused. You said low was a yes, and you rolled a 15.
There are no modifiers on that roll.
Yeah, high is a no. He rolled a high.
It was a 15 in your screenshot.
Yeah. High is no.
Out of a 20.
Low is
yes. I thought you rolled. I thought you rolled a percentile.
No, he rolled a d20.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. She says.
And of the 4 of you, 3 say no. I can't but admit that I'm disappointed. We could have done marvelous things. And you, Dark One, what do you say?
She looks at you, Adis.
Oh, I already said yes. I'm just looking these over to try to decide which one.
Okay.
Oh wow, the black one hits hits. Oh wow, that one's made to be used with all the other health spikes. I don't know. What do you guys think? Which one should I take?
What calls out to you and makes you go, hell yeah?
The gray one, just because I don't know what it does, but
Exactly.
I'm trying to think of like something that would synergize and be the most helpful.
Yeah, choose the gray dildo.
Does it actually look like a dildo?
No, it's a hell spike.
Okay.
No, I'm assuming it's a
Because
secret dildo, okay?
I would totally pay an extra 5% and give that one to Deimos if it actually looked like a dildo. Yeah, I think I'll. You know what? Just because I know it's probably something either incredibly cool or just eh. Yeah, I'll take the gray one.
Okay.
Then it is done.
The 4 remaining spikes return to her. Each of them inserting themselves into her headdress, and the one that you hold in your hand, Adis, it comes up to you and it floats to your hand. A gray, dull shard of what looks like stone. It's cool to the touch, but also it burns like a hot fire almost. It's so cold that it burns your hand.
Nice.
She says to you, she regards you, Adis, and says,
Of all your companions, you are the only one whose soul cried out to this agreement. Let it be known that we have an accord, you and I. That hell spike will serve you, and it will serve you well in the days to come.
I give, from my knowledge of, being in hell and stuff, I give the appropriate etiquette bow and nod and so forth and so on.
Thrust it into the heart of any denizen of hell or the abyss, and their souls will be severed eternally, and they will be consigned to annihilation. Truly, 'tis the only way.
I am most grateful, and it will be very useful. Thank you.
And when all is said and done, we shall speak again.
We will.
she turns to the rest of you all and says,
My offer does not have an end date. Should you ever choose to return to me, you will find the bargain is still available to you. I believe, I know, we will be seeing each other again.
Yeah, probably.
a dark swirl of inky blackness begins to fill the room, emanating from the throne behind her. She turns and she takes a few steps, and she sits back. She settles back down onto her throne as the darkness encompasses her, and you feel the tide of the water in this area begin to push against you, and you find yourselves being lifted gently at first, and pushed and begin to be swept backwards out of the room, basically being like as the tide carries you away.
Hey, Deimos.
Yeah.
There's some nasty fucks out there with some tentacles need destroying.
And I heard you talking. Do we have time to try to fight those things or no?
Yeah. The help we get for doing it pretty much guarantees the crab dudes are fucked.
But like, wait, so like, how much time do we actually have? Like between
3 days, I think. And it
Okay,
took us
how long is-
it took us like 16 hours, I think, to get here. And we had 3 days when we left, I think.
Oh shit, I totally forgot that we came here for a stupid crystal.
Yeah, which isn't here.
She didn't have
Well, I
it.
thought-
She said she wasn't interested in a little bauble like that, but it
She
was
said
somewhere
it was,
in the city above.
yeah, on the surface.
Well,
Did
we
she
can.
agree to loan out the second, a second depressed one, or
Yes,
what was
as
it?
long as we go out there and kill the tentacle fucks real quick.
Yeah.
If
Well,
we
how
if
many
we
of these
get if,
tentacle guys are there?
there wasn't a lot.
Once you guys aren't back outside yet, so you don't know.
There was a small herd of them whenever we got here. I think he
Okay.
said like 20. I think something like that.
All right. Well, let's I guess go check to try and like the little bobble thing and kind of go from there. I guess.
If we
I
get
do
this
a
guy's help, we
perception
don't.
check.
If we get this guy's help, we don't need the tide shard to stop the
Well, if we
thing.
want to go up the mountain, that would probably help.
Well, no, we'll still need to go get it, but we could just take this dude over and deal with the crabs. Then we don't have to rush trying to get the tide shard.
I am looking for blinky light that says exit shortcut this way, like emergency
Yes.
exit.
I think we're being pushed out, Renly.
You're being swept along the canal that the tunnel that you guys walked in on.
That was a long,
the-
long way, wasn't it?
The current speeds you along fairly quickly. Along the way, you see Profane One, his face kind of like embedded in the wall, him staring back out at you. As you zip by, he has kind of a curious look on his face,
I give him a nod,
and you guys
and
all
I say, Elwin got some.
and you all go blasting out the over about 10 minutes later, you guys go blasting out to the surface.
Well, since we're already here, we might as well just look for a tide shard.
It's not here. It's on the surface.
This is the surface of the ocean floor.
No, like the surface of the ocean, like up above land, like out of the water, is where she
No.
said.
She said it was in the city. On the surface. We were below like under the seafloor, that's where we were, below
Yeah.
the seafloor. So she said it was on top of it, like where the city is. So we're already in the city, we might as well look for it.
Oh, in this city?
Yeah, it was somewhere in the city.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like above the water. Above, yeah. Never mind.
No, the surface, like above the water, there's nothing up there, but busted up continents and stuff.
That's why I was a little confused when you said it last session. I was like, okay. Maybe there is still something up there.
Well, I mean,
But yeah,
there was
that
another
as well.
so there are two gods in Luminaria, Verkul and whatever her name was. I forget her name.
The cat guy in the water lady.
What was her name? Saloon.
So like,
So Verkul basically ruled the seas and the oceans. Saloon ruled the land. So what they've told you is that the land was completely wiped out, but there was a vigil above ground, obviously, because her vigil was up there, along with her temples and all the civilizations and that kind of stuff. Lunaria was primarily a land-based plane. It's just the land has greatly been devastated. So all that's kind of left right now, at least that you've seen, is underwater. Okay.
All right.
So there probably would be a vigil above ground, but above the surface, but you have no idea because no one's been up there.
All right. On the off chance that this will work, do we know what this tide shard's called? Like what its name is?
Might of the Sea.
All right. I'm gonna cast locate object and name Might of the Sea.
I start flexing.
You find Deimos.
Hey, it's possible. Or no, he's not an object, so it can't find him.
Only a sexual idol, you're right.
Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. You sense the direction of the object's location as long as that object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement.
Oh, never mind. I can't locate this thing because I've never seen it. Unless we
Yeah.
saw pictures of it. Have we seen pictures of it or anything?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down and meditate and try to like hone into the most religious thing I can find.
Like,
Alright.
divine powers.
You
flow
guys,
through me 'cause I'm
you guys
Jedi.
arrive back above the beneath the ocean floor. So now you're in the ruined city of Anwen.
Oh, I did have a question, just like while we spent that 10 minutes, on this lovely little roller coaster ride exiting,
Yes.
I was wondering if I could just do my commune with nature and be like, okay, let's just check out if there are any major things happening around, like powerful celestials, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead,
Okay.
There's
any
like a
influences from other things that
300-foot tall
exist.
fiend
So you
in
cast
this
it?
town.
Yeah, so you
like
cast it
while I'm traveling, yeah.
within 3
Like
miles
for
of you. Yeah.
that 10
Okay.
minutes.
All right. So what you realize, Renly, is that what was this picture from? What did we use it for last time?
The battle.
The
Oh,
meteor.
these are
A
the meteors.
battle.
Okay, these are the meteors. Okay. All right.
The rocks I threw.
Told you rocks are goddamn dangerous.
As a just to know who all has used their miracle.
I think I did.
2 of you used it. I think it was Renly and Elwin.
Which one? Oh, good.
So if the city if you guys are arriving here, so the statue kind of was like here, and you guys had gone deep underground somewhere like off a tunnel off in this direction. You guys pop out beneath the statue. The city itself, there's buildings and structures and rubble and stuff like that all around. Back behind you, behind the statue, is this large temple, more buildings and streets and that kind of stuff. But in the water and in the area around Renly, what you find is that much further away. So I'm going to zoom out now. So now this is the city, the whole city, right? All over the place, there are fiends and devils demons and fiends swarming and swirling. There's a great battle occurring outside. You can see you feel swarms of different power levels of creatures all like congesting, and you find one massive devil here fighting them all near the city, and it's going around. It's like there's carnage and chaos all around the city. It's a massive battle out there.
How far away is it, Renly?
Yeah, do I have an idea as to how?
The city itself is probably it's a large city, so maybe let's call it a square mile. And your spell goes out to 3 miles away from you, so it's all happening within a mile of the city itself.
Wow. Okay. And they're all demons.
Most of what you're finding are demons, yes.
Oh wow.
It's the fight we started before we came in here.
Okay, but you're sensing hundreds of demons out there, and one devil.
All right, one devil versus hundreds of demons. This will go well. I do share this.
On the way into the city, did the swirling how close to the city did we get before the vortex stopped having an effect on the water?
Well, the vortex is having a huge effect on the water here. The only reason inside the city that you're safe is because of Profane One's growths, these black root-like things that are anchoring the city together. So inside the city itself, you're okay. If you guys were to go outside, you'd be swept away unless you were in Megalith form.
Is Profane One's the dude inside, right?
Yes. He's one with the root-like growths and stuff that are surrounding the city.
Okay. I want to send him a message. Because I think I can message him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you see all that black crap growing around the city?
Mhm.
That's all part of Profane One's growth.
Let's see here. What's the? It's not sending. Sending. What level sending? There it is. I'm gonna shoot him a message with sending, and I'm gonna ask him if I go out there to help out his homie G in a big form, big tall giant form. If he could help me out and stop me from getting blown away. I need to get about. So you said it's about a mile. So I need to get about a fifth of a mile away from the city without getting blown away or swept away. So that's what I asked him real quick. And I also tell him he can respond to this message.
So his growths are slow. They're not like tentacles or anything like that. So he could, but it would take a few days for him to extend a tentacle or a growth out there. If that makes sense. Okay.
Is there any area on that side of the city that sticks out particularly further?
Towards the fight?
Yeah.
So let's just for the sake of it, let's just call this spire right here. Let's say that's the furthest extending thing.
Alright. If I went out there, could I get within 1,000 feet of the fight?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll go out there and turn into big homie 300-foot tall dude, and I'll just like sit down there.
It's gonna take you a while to get over there. It's a pretty big city, so you're
Yeah,
traveling
that-
a good half mile underwater.
Yep, I'll head over there while they go search for the thingy.
Okay. So you start swimming off in that direction. The rest of you guys, you see the ruins of this once great and lavish city around you. All the buildings, like I said, are mostly untouched. The water here is very peaceful. The growths that Profane One has been solidifying over the years have kept the swirling waters of the Maelstrom of the maw at bay. So you're under here, and you're able to search and investigate these buildings at will. Like I said, behind you there's a large temple, and then around you are various dwellings and what look like might have been businesses or buildings of various importance, archives, a library, like a royal. You see a palace off in the distance, that kind of thing.
If I was a tide shard, I think I would want to be in the palace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, are there areas in the palace where those vines have not actually reached, like the depths of it or the lower areas, maybe? Or higher areas?
The vines encompass the great city itself. All that remains is encompassed by vines. Anything that was not encompassed by vines was flattened to dust outside. So looking at the city, right? Like the city itself was bigger than this. I mean, like, it was quite a bit larger. But the
So
vines.
there are no cocooned areas that are protected as such.
The only areas that are left are protected. Everything else has been worn away down to sand because of the great waters outside.
Oh, okay. So everything is basically wrapped up in the vines, and that's the only way they survive. Okay.
Yeah, or at least sheltered by these large vine growths around larger buildings around them. So you guys are basically inside this structure here. This big thing. You're inside it, because inside it is the city.
Let's go to that palace. Also, what are the stats on the dildo that I stole?
Huh? You look in your pocket where you stuffed it, and you find that there's nothing there.
Yeah, bitch.
Wait, what dildo did you steal?
I took the other spike, which was a dildo.
Ah.
It wormed its way
I
back
thought-
away from you when you weren't
It
looking.
would have been a good gift for Adis's mom for Christmas.
She's been dead for like 200 years, yeah.
Well, for a tempest test, I can res her from the dead. I'll
Hey,
be
Renly,
fine.
when is Christmas in Canada?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, what does Canada do? Like, have you guys found electricity yet? Like, I know this is weird saying we're playing a computer, but
I am not dating this with the answer. Go away, people. Go away.
when's the 4th of July in Canada?
What's the? It's the 4th of July. It's like any other
Where
day.
it's Freedom Day?
Every day is Freedom Day.
They,
in
they have.
Canada. What are
Don't you
talking
guys have
about?
Boxer Day? The day when everyone goes around in boxers?
Boxing Day. Oh, hey.
All right, I'm just not gonna go on Google and look up ridiculous holidays in Canada right now. But continue on with our.
All right, so you guys, where are you guys heading? So, I mean, basically, you're looking for the tide shard in this city, and you're gonna have to find it. It's as Sashier told you, it's somewhere here, or at least it was last time she saw.
I mean, was the tide shard from a different plane? Like, would it exude influence from other planes of existence?
No,
No.
it's if anything, it's the most part of this plane that there is. It's the tide shards are the very nexuses of power of the gods who reigned here. The vigils, basically. You know, they're ancient manifestations of divine power that even predate the gods. The gods kind of took over them, kind of like you guys did on Elysium.
Mhm.
But they are the very cores of the power of the plane. The fact that this plane's vigils are shattered are probably reflect on the fact that there's a strong correlation with the fact of how shattered the plane itself is, the continents and the underwater oceans and that kind of stuff.
I would think it would be the castle. Or that big demon guy. One of the two.
Anyone have anything like radar?
Yes. My radar's pointing either at that big guy or the castle. And I'm sticking to that story.
Sounds good. Let's go find, like, a map. I'm sure they have tour guides in the castle, and there's probably a map etched somewhere that hasn't been destroyed. So let's go find.
Hey, Rinley, you have legend lore, don't you?
I can't prepare everything, and I haven't prepared that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you guys are heading to the palace.
Yes.
Sure, it's right
Alright.
behind us, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not terribly far away. So you're going back about 100 yards under the water. And as you go, you realize that things here are remarkably well preserved, even though the surrounding area has been worn away, eroded down to dust and sand. These cities and these areas have been remarkably protected from the massively strong currents of the maw of the void. So you're going through, and you still see stuff on the ground, evidence of culture, evidence. There's like various carts and domestic dwellings, and all the evidences of life and civilization. You head to the palace itself, and you work your way over its large external gates. Underwater, there aren't really stairs and like door entrances and that kind of stuff. It's more like swimming portals and stuff. But there are pillars, and the whole thing is carved in murals. So as you approach the palace, you see that the outside of the palace itself, the two large pillars that hold the roof of the building up, are etched in murals all around and all the way up to the top of it. So currently, you guys are standing outside, swimming outside the palace, looking at these two pillars with all these carvings on them. What do you guys want to do?
Just gonna work inside.
You going inside? You said.
Yes.
Like-
Yes.
The last 10 seconds of what you said before this, like my Discord was all acting up.
Oh.
But I think we're at the castle, and I'm walking in the door.
I have a great idea,
Yes.
here, guys. I feel like we should all split up, but be telepathically bonded, and therefore, if anything goes wrong, we go, Marco Polo, and we try to find each.
Fair.
I mean, what could go wrong, right?
I mean, if if we split up, I mean, it's just a horror movie right there.
I mean, it sounds like it's Halloween coming up.
Yes, I don't trust anything anymore. Nothing is trustworthy in my eyes besides my friendship and my hands. Pretty trustworthy.
Okay, so you guys are going into the palace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
What
get
were
in that
those
bitch.
like carvings on the pillar thingies? Like, was one of them a map?
Are you looking at the pillar?
I am totally looking at the pillar. I'm like, if I have to, I'll do comprehend languages to look at the pillar, and I'm like, come on.
On the pillars are a pictographical. Oh, pretty pictures.
Finally, stop looking at my butt.
It looks to you, Renly, like a series of histories. Showing some of the greatest points of the founding of the city. But that's kind of what it looks like to you. Deimos, you peer a little bit more closely, and you see that just just observing from the pictures, you notice one character kind of appearing in several pictures at a time, and as you go around the circumference of the pillar, you see the adventures, the multiple depictions of him, and then further up the pillar, it looks like later on, in time, he looks older, that kind of thing. And along the way, you do notice that he has, he's battling monsters. You see him saving three young children from the mouth of a massive sea beast. You see him traveling to the surface world and convening with kings and angels from above ground. This man has eventually, in the pictures later on, bears a crown on his head, and you see a picture of him sitting down side by side with a massive being that, based on the honorific way he's depicted, could only be a god. And eventually, in the pictures, they do show the god giving to him a necklace with an amulet at the end of it. And the king, and from that point on, every time the king shows up in the murals on his various great deeds and escapades, he's wearing the necklace.
Okay, I think I pieced it together. The
Okay.
big thing there is a god, and that necklace is important. And the guy's got ordered.
Maybe the necklace is the tight shard.
Holy shit! When you say it like that, it all pieces together.
We're a great team, Deimos.
Dude, we're so good, we should start our own private investigation company. We
We
should
should
push off the
just-
statues. Dude, let's do it right now.
Are you sure about this? Because all I'm seeing is your butt over here, Deimos, and I'm pointing
Hey.
to a curve.
I slide in front of the curb and make sure my butt's in front. Damish's butt needs attention.
Yep, see his exact same shape.
Yes, now, I believe we're looking for a necklace. And the guy with a crown. And then we'll
Oh yeah,
the shard.
oh yeah.
Yes, the pieces are all coming together.
Okay, so that's what's on the pillars. What else you guys want to do?
I think we should head inside. Let's think. If you were the king of this place and some shit started going down, where would you go?
Castle basement.
The power center, the army, the escape route, the family.
I heard basement, let's go.
Basement. Next basement. Ahoy.
Okay. You work your way inside the building, and as you go through, the palace is massive. You find multiple sitting rooms, large underwater great rooms, and very finely decorated. All along there's tapestries and art and paintings of individual rulers. And as you go in there, you're looking at some of the tapestries on the wall and these large portraits and stuff, and you realize that so I mean you filled Renly and Elwyn in on what you saw on the pillars, Deimos. So the three of you, as you get in there, you see that the king, at least depicted in the murals on the pillars outside, was the progenitor of the royal line, the original king of Anwen, possibly named Anwen himself. And along the way, you see generations and generations of successors and princes and kings and queens that followed after him, that are part of his royal dynasty. So you get in there and you're looking around and gathering from the various portraits and depictions on the wall, weapons and armors and that kind of stuff, all with nameplates and that there have been multiple generations, some 20 generations since that original king.
Are any of them like wearing the necklace, or are none of them wearing the necklace?
In the depictions?
Yeah.
So go ahead. I mean, just roll a perception check or investigation check, whichever one you prefer.
Oh, thank God.
So you're piecing it together as you walk through. You realize that of all the royal families, the monarch in charge. Sometimes it's a king, sometimes it's a queen, but the monarch is always wearing the necklace. It's a golden chain with a circular amulet at the end of it. Okay.
Alrighty, and yeah, are we seeing corpses, or is everything dustified? Like everything's like ash.
No, it's kind of like it was in the rest of the city. This place was deserted. All the citizens left this area in a hurry.
Where would we have like a bunker, in case of atomic bombs? Basement?
Thank you. You're coming late to the party, Renly.
All right, you start heading down the stairs, and you find Elwyn and Deimos already in one of the basement rooms. So Deimos and Elwyn, you guys are inside the dungeon. You're looking around inside the dungeon. Various implements of torture, chains and whips and.
I see Deimos comparing his certain like leash to another one that's on the wall.
The tether.
Indeed.
Elwyn and Deimos, while you guys are inside the dungeon, go ahead and roll a investigation check. See what you find.
Hope you're good at these demos, because I'm not. Whoa, why do I have advantage?
I gave you foresight.
Ah, sweet.
Oh, Deimos isn't here. I'll roll an investigation check for him. Elwyn, you find.
Sorry. My shit's all fucked up.
That's right.
There we go.
Elwyn, with a 14, you find an upgrade to an upgraded tether.
Ooh,
Impossible.
it's impossible. Where's this tether?
But I take it.
It's a tether. It's a tether made of kraken scales, kraken scale skin tether.
Where are we at right now?
You're in the dungeon.
I knew it was
The dungeon underneath the palace. There's chains and whips
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
Elwyn, you
that's what
find a
there's
leather tether made of kraken skin.
We're gonna put this to good use.
Yeah, I don't know what, but I'm excited for some reason.
I'll spend a first level spell slot to tether him with my new tether.
Joke's on him. You're already in my underwear. Yeah.
No, like to activate the new leash instead
yeah,
of
okay.
the.
Dope, dude. Now we got like a tether with style.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me see what's your Deimos tether spell? Where is it?
Hey, Deimos. So since he's in your underwear, is he riding it like a broomstick?
You can't ride underwear like a broomstick.
I'm not talking about your underwear.
I'm in the back.
Yeah, he's in the back.
Oh, so you're riding his like a broomstick.
Well, unless like we get switched around, then I'm in the back, or we can both be side by side. These are like actually some really nice underwear.
That's what I thought. All right, cool.
All right. So, this magical tether is now a two-way tether. So you can tether Deimos, and you can pull him to you, but he can also pull you to him. It's a two-way tether.
We already
And
have that, though.
and while you guys are tethered together, any sensations that one feels on one end, the one person on the other can also participate in feeling those sensations.
Ooh, we can participate in anything. Mm.
I think we can retire now, Deimos.
So,
Let's become farmers.
does that mean if one of them takes damage, the other takes damage too?
The other one will feel pain, but won't take damage.
Ooh, we're gonna be so numb at the end of this.
They'll feel a tingling. All right. Down here, though, so you guys are looking through the dungeon, and well, there's nothing in the dungeon. You continue to look, and you do find a fairly large room that is full of scrolls and parchments, and you know, it's fairly well organized. Shelves and shelves full of recordings and histories and stuff. It's basically the archives or the annals of the palace.
Oh, I will look for maps.
Okay. Renly, you're able to find several different maps. One's on the wall, of course, but various ones in a couple of different histories of the area, surrounding area, and the ocean. You see them. You see the ocean as recorded at various points in time. What specifically are you looking for?
I'm looking for newer maps to compare with the older maps, and then I will ask everyone. Okay, now what we're trying to find is areas that seem to be getting of construction because they're hiding like rooms and stuff that they don't want to put on said maps. And I spent like 10 minutes trying to explain the idea of they're not actually shown on blueprints.
It's really easy. We just have to go to the throne room and push over the throne.
Great idea.
I mean,
Actually, I like that. Let's do that. Yeah.
Is it hard for you guys to understand, or is it just my private
No,
investigations? 'Cause-
no, lead the way, and I will follow while holding
Yes.
and walking blindly.
Throne room time.
Okay. Renly, as you're combing through the maps and through the histories and stuff, you grab a couple books and you're looking through them, flipping through them all the way. You're a scholar by nature, so you're flipping through books as you guys are walking towards the throne room. You do find a fairly recent history. Not only does it have the most recent maps, but it also has the most recent line of rulers, and their immediate genealogy in it, and a list of their accomplishments and their accolades and that kind of stuff. So you know, like I said, along the walls and stuff in the palace, you saw some 20 generations. Here you find detailed information on the most recent generation.
Oh, perfect. So the last king, was he a fan of like golf or like water polo? I mean, like, what was his thing? You know, that he usually spent all.
So you're flipping through and you find the entry of the last great king. The sire of his of this current dynasty. His name was Parkthan. It says Parkthan reigned for 20 spans and begat 3 sons. Their names were Hormulon, Harmonil, and Hethralon. Of those, Hormulon became king. He ruled 2 spans and was slain by the Erul. He had no offspring. Harmonil despised the throne, and so Hethralon became the ruler. He governed for 5 spans and bore 2 daughters, Parthella and Harmeli. Parthella, being the oldest, took the crown when her father fell in battle to the Depatian overlord, Haliax. Thus Parthella reigned for 8 span, and Anwen prospered greatly. That's the most recent entry you find.
Alrighty. So Partella, and so we have a queen here. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So I tell people it's a queen, and we start looking around also for pictures of said queen. Um, I don't think that she likes. Does she like holding tea parties, or is there anything else? Like, does she like spending all the time in the dungeon? Did we miss something back there?
The book that you pulled, the archive that you pulled, was basically just like a genealogy and stuff like that. It wasn't. There was no biographical information about the things that she was engaged in, or that any of them were engaged in. It was just mostly like this person begat this person and they lived for this many years and that kind of stuff.
Alrighty. In which case, after I finish going through that, I will shove it in my bag and then start poring over the map.
Okay.
Okay, keep going. We're on the way to the throne room. Get ready to shove.
All right, you guys make your way to the throne room. It's glorious. There's lots of crystalline chandeliers, and it's open to the basically the ocean surface basically. Looking up, you can see flickers of light in the darkness of the ocean. You recognize that these crystals are luminescent, and it's a brilliantly lit place. It's a gorgeous place in the architecture of this culture. What are you guys looking for?
Who's that through?
You find the throne.
Push over the throne.
Or maybe, hug the throne and, like, Elwyn can summon you. And
Yes.
maybe you can go with the throne too.
Yes. Go
Okay.
sit in the throne to take selfie pictures.
All right, so you go to the throne and you sit there. I mean, it's a throne made of pure crystal, basically.
Rip that
Along the
bitch
walls, you see, but right above you, along the wall, there's a depiction of a female, Anwenian, a merfolk, a mer person. She's regal. She's wearing the crown around her, adorned around her neck is this amulet. You gather that this was Queen Parthella, and alongside her, along the walls, you see various depictions of the royal family, the most recent royal family. Parthella had 3 sons, and in a couple of them, you see that her sister Harmeli also had a daughter, and you see that they had various cousins and uncles and those kinds of things. It's basically in the immediate area, she decorated this place with images and statuettes of her immediate family.
Okay.
All right, so you're on her
Well-
throne.
What did she decorate underneath her throne as I toss it aside?
You knock the throne over. Underneath there, roll a d20.
I believe in you, Amos. Oh my
Not bad, Tamos.
You find 17 gold pieces.
Are you serious?
god.
Oh, underneath the gold pieces is there a door? Come on now. Come on.
No.
Where's that?
No.
No.
I start ripping away underneath there because I know there's the door. You can't trick Deimos as I start ripping up the floor.
You're ripping on the floor. Roll,
Deimos.
Deimos, roll d20.
Ooh, let's see what's actually underneath this floor.
I mean, how long are you digging?
I'm digging for a while until someone else finds something better to do. I am very determined there's something in here as I'm pounding this shit and just ripping it apart. But you guys can keep doing stuff and tell me to do something else. But
I
I'm-
look for tracks of like masses to have like tried to run away, tracks that would have lasted centuries or millennia. Oh,
And I'll look for secret doors. There's gotta be one around here.
I'm working on the secret door right here. Let me know if you need me for something, but I'm gonna pound away at this bitch.
Okay. Renly, you're looking for tracks. You're looking through the maps, and you're looking for evidence of of where they might have retreated to. You do see eventually, combing through the most recent maps and looking around, that someplace far to the north, not far, several miles to the north, there was basically a fairly large township. One, or it looks like an extension, a satellite of Anwen, of the major city. And the only reason it's noticeable to you is because it bears the royal insignia on it as well, similar to what you've seen around this palace. Elwyn, go ahead and roll an investigation check to find the secret passages. You are looking quite earnestly. You're pulling on every every lampstick, pushing on every door fixture, and looking for secret passages and stuff to open up. You're looking behind picture frames and tapestries and all that stuff. You do find a few, but you notice that they seem to be like built-in shortcuts for servants to pass through, like away from the bedrooms to the kitchens. You do find a couple that join bedrooms to each other. And one's particularly scandalous one that joins the crown prince's quarters to the servants' quarters.
Ooh. Gonna make an HBO series about that one.
Wait, are you a Downton Abbey fan?
I don't watch it. I think the
This is
wife
totally
started
upstairs
watching it.
downstairs.
I think she started watching it. I'm not 100%.
I'm just curious. I watched like the first 2 episodes, and I think there was a secret passage in there. I don't know. Anyway,
There's gotta be. It's
there had to be.
HBO.
Yeah. Deimos, you're digging, and 7 feet down, you hit what feels like a large steel or metal surface.
Yeah, I already knew it was down here. I ripped that shit apart.
All right, so you tear into it.
Yes.
Roll athletics.
Oh, athletics, you say?
Okay. You pry at it, you pull it, you rip it, you bend some of the metal, and you realize that it's a large box, a large, you're tearing at the ground, and it seems sarcophagus-like. It's about the length and the shape of what would like a coffin or something.
Yeah. What's in the coffin?
You're opening it?
Fucking ripping that coffin open. I'm gonna
Okay.
bet it's that king guy.
Okay. You tear it open, and inside you find the well-preserved remains of an ancient mer person. His armor is dazzling, scintillating, gold-scaled, of the highest quality, shimmering in the light beneath the ocean. His around his hands are 2 bucklers or gauntlets, not gauntlets, but like bracers that reach from his wrist all the way up to his forearm. Around his back is a luxurious crimson cloak. On his head is a brilliant crystal crown, and he has a pair of chainmail pants.
I literally just dug through the floor into the royal crypt.
What are you talking about? I found this secret sarcophagus.
I will pull that body up.
Okay.
Guys, look what I found. I think it's that old guy from that painting or murals we saw.
Does he have a necklace?
Where's the necklace?
There's no necklace.
Are you asking the dead guy?
Yes, I am. I am going to pick
I totally
him up.
picture it.
I am, and I look at him in the eyes, and I would like to try something here. Can I
Okay.
try to spark a true resurrection?
Oh, jeez.
I just need to know where their necklace is. This guy I think he knows where it is.
I steal so much fucking jewelry from around this place because we haven't gotten gold in like a year.
That's
So,
fine.
Hey Deimos, before you use your 9th level slot,
Would you?
doesn't True Resurrection only work if they've only been dead for no more than 100 years?
Not if I spoke it and it's 200 years. And I'm Deimos, which means rules don't apply.
Okay.
Also, where are we? Deimos is gonna go judge with the
AO god.
and be like, I want to argue right here. It says 200 years. Where are these 200 years taking place from? Like,
He's
how
gonna
are we
have-
judging time by?
He's doing a rules as written versus rules as intended argument with AO.
Yes. I'm arguing him with the whole like the background like laws of how like standard physics work. We can mathematically make this guy under 200 years old of being dead. Like it
Well,
just
some-
depends on where we
Well,
put it.
that's true because here he could have been dead for 2,000 years, but that may only be 50 years in the material plane.
Yeah, it could have been.
Or some plane somewhere.
Yeah, come on, bro.
At some plane somewhere, he's only been dead for 50 years.
You know that one plane that time goes really slow. But I would like to spark it,
All right.
true resurrection him, and have Elwin give me moral support for help. I will guide myself. I will do heavy lift. I think
Okay.
about Renly back in her 20s, and I put Adis's mask back on my face. I am so powered up right now.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. Roll a. So roll a wisdom check with your modifier, your D4, your guidance, and the spark.
Alright, Spark. Do me good. Oh yes, plus times 3. Suck a dick. I am Deimos. Laws don't apply to me.
This is 63. All right. So you cast True Resurrection. Now this is to see how well the resurrection does. That check was to see if you could even try to do the spell, and have it take any kind of effect. So now you're checking to see how well the resurrection does. Roll a d20.
And then you gotta roll a percentile, and he's gonna give you like a 1% chance that the soul's even willing to come back.
We got this, guys.
Roll
All right.
high, baby, roll high.
Renly,
Suck it. I am Deimos. I told you rules don't apply to Deimoses.
You didn't expect
I
this to happen,
clearly, I
did you,
clearly,
Midas?
I clearly saw a 1 on the die in the chat box, so I call hacks.
I wish I knew how to do hacks on fantasy grounds. I would be abusing that shit so bad.
How do you always roll natural 20s?
I don't know. Deimos doesn't even want to know questions.
Deimos,
he
you
thinks
need
there
to
is
be
a-
the you need to be the star of one of those D&D videos people do on the top 10 ways to derail your DM.
Deimos is like, I'm pretty sure now. I'm also a cleric,
Okay. All
a
right.
wizard bard, and cleric.
All right. Okay. So, one second here. One second here. All right, so you cast this spell and you can feel divine power kind of pouring out of you, and not only that, but you feel it swirling around with your knowledge of the reality behind reality. And you see that this being was one of great power. The sheer destiny that surrounded him, that would cause him to accomplish great things here in this land. he was more than a demigod during his time. He the well preserved body was, although it was well preserved, a lot of the natural things had kind of like rotted away and wasted away. But you can see that in a good way, the body itself begins to reknit itself, pulling in sand and water from the surrounding area to fill in and to reformulate the matter. You can see bits of flesh and bone being reknit and repieced together. Hair begins to grow, and a large flowing white mane of hair, of a beard and hair, begins to grow around his face and his chin. The crown on his head sparkles greatly, and you can see the broadness of his shoulders and his form begin to pull themselves together. A moment goes by, and you hear his voice kind of come, like a kindly smile comes to his face, and you hear a voice kind of come out as he looks at you, and a broad grin kind of emanates from his mouth. He says, "I can't believe it. You've summoned me from the beyond of beyond, and I've
Yeah.
been gone for a time immemorial."
But you're underneath the chair, and you always know it's underneath the chair.
He says, "Yes, he says, this kingdom was built upon my work, and I desire to be entombed beneath my throne, to always give support and strength to my descendants. That's always been my wish."
So, fun fact.
By
let me
this
bring
is the
over
way he
here
looks
to-
like.
Dude!
I,
That's
I,
my
ha-
boy. That's
I
my
have-
boy.
I half expected you to put the Deimos Juice Demon dude in this guy.
They're very good. Very good. King Triton, who I'm still banking on if they ever make another movie of this. Terry Crews plays you. I want to see Terry Crews with the beard. It will be amazing, says Deimos. Well, Mr. Triton, it's a bad news. Good news. First off, one, we need the necklace. Second off of two, this is Erwin, fire god from the sky. There's an apocalypse thing going on, and your city is destroyed. We will now fill you in on everything.
This is Terry Crews as King Triton.
Yeah,
There.
Terry Crews. Do it.
He's giving that expression right now. If he was senses.
So he
Photoshop is wonderful.
So wait, what did you ask him? I forgot. I wasn't listening. What did you say?
Mainly, I was just like, I give him the whole recap on what just went on. I was like, I'm sure we can like kind of give him a brief description of what the fuck is going on. We need the necklace thing, and also your city's blown up along with a lot of this stuff, and shit's hitting the fan. But cool.
Okay.
Glad to have him here.
All right. So a tear comes to his eye. We're going with the classic cartoon version. A tear comes to his eye. He says, My beautiful city, in ruins, you say, and my royal line come to an end? Oh, horror upon horrors.
We don't know
Oh,
about the line end. We're still looking for the necklace, so she could be alive.
I show him the book that Renly's holding with the line of stuff.
he says, Yes, I know of these, my great granddaughter. Yes. My time is short here. You wish to know where she is and where she brought the might of the sea? To save the people below the depths. Is that what you seek?
We gotta save them. Because I don't know if you know this. Also, what are the rules on getting out of underwater engagements?
Oh, found yourself attached to a sea woman, have you?
Didn't
I was
do-
attached myself many a time in my day.
Yes, it's inconvenient, I tell you that. But yes, we need all the treasures. We need to know all the secret stuff and where this lady is. Also, you need to give us a blessing because you're old and powerful.
He says, okay, one at a time, one at a time. First,
I'll keep adding shit. You'll stay here forever.
he says, first, he says, he pauses and he closes his eyes. Yes, I can see it now. The last moments of my royal line. This, oh, my great-granddaughter. And another tear comes to his eyes. It's hard to tell because they're underwater, but you can tell. You see him like pick up the trident that was underneath him inside his sarcophagus, and he pulls it out and he waves it in the air, and you can see images get like faintly fluorescent, ghostly images appear all around the room. And he says, "This was the last day before the darkness came, the dawn of the maw." He says, "This one here," and you see a mer woman, the queen Parthella, and her sister Harmeli, the two queens, brilliant, radiant, beautiful, calling together their armies, calling together their warriors, and leading, and they're arrayed in armor, getting ready to press out and strike out against the demon hordes that had invaded the land. He says, "At this point, the demons had turned their eyes down below the water. The next scene, you see a lone messenger, a lone soldier, swimming back into the throne room. He says, "Alas, they were met with great devastation and defeat." And you see a weeping members of the royal family. The whole royal line had been slain. All that was left was a young girl, about 12 years of age, the daughter of Harmeli, the niece of the queen, the only one remaining in the royal line. The soldier comes in and is holding the amulet and hands it to her and bows to her. There's a solemn quietness to the room as she gently takes it. He says, "And then the demon invasion," he says, hit its true ferocity, and the maw was opened. The next scene you see is some time later, as the girl is a slightly older now, about a year older, and the capital is being evacuated. She's there giving commands, waiting until the last moment, making sure every citizen, every person is fleeing, is getting away safely. And you see her, the last person to leave, as she closes the doors to the palace and swims off away into the distance. And King Triton says, "And thus ended the days of Anwen. I know not where they've traveled from here, but I can gather that they may have gone to our fortress to the north, or at least attempted to flee there. Mind you, the maw had been opened by this point, and the chances of survival were greatly slim. Okay?
Yes. Convenient.
Did you ever see them talking about like any precautions as to how they would have gotten there in one piece and not ripped apart? I mean, did they have a fancy crab tank? I mean, no offense. I mean, I'm sorry for your loss. I mean, things that are not the patient, like like big carriers or a safe tunnel. I don't.
He shakes his head slowly. He says, I know not. I know of no device or no vessel that could have traveled in these waters once the maw had been opened.
What about that stone? Could that have helped?
He pauses for a second. He says, the might of the sea. Perhaps, but its area of influence would not have been great. The power that would have had to be harnessed in order to counteract the maelstrom would have been immense, far, far too much for any individual to wield. Verkul himself would not have been able to hold back the waves of the maelstrom. But to shelter one person, yes. To shelter two, yes. 4, perhaps. More than that, it is doubtful.
Oh shit. But that's not good. We need to save this land.
What would you have done if you could only shelter 4 people? You knew that you could only save 4. Where would you go?
To save my people? So in the vision, there was a lot more than 4 people left. She was leading out a train of basically all the remaining civilians. To save my people, I would have done anything. I would have made a deal with the devil himself, if it meant the survival of my people.
Yes.
Or a devil with the red god.
Or something that's hidden beneath?
Yes. What about that demon queen who lives, or the devil queen who lives beneath your town? Why did you decide to do that here?
What? What devil queen
Oh.
below my town?
The past ruler of all of hell lives right underneath your city.
The queen of the damned, you know.
You know that one.
I'm sorry, you must be mistaken.
No,
I chose this
we
place
just saw
because-
her. We found her first, then we got you.
No, why
Show
did
her
you
your
do-
dildo, Deimos.
See? Oh wait, it's on Adis's head.
Oh.
Or wherever he stuck the spike.
Adis
that-
isn't there.
what-
Adis is traveling off to that parapet on the north to go help with the
Yeah.
fight.
Why did you choose this place in the first place?
I chose this place because it was a good strategic location, and
That
for
makes
some
sense.
reason there was a great wealth of life in the sea flora.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's definitely from the demon lady. I mean, actually, she's not like completely evil. She's like old school, so she's like got holy stuff and also bad stuff. It's kind of like, you know, ever
Sir,
heard that song
sir.
like She's Sweet but a Psycho?
She's like, he says, "Sir, you must be out your mind."
No, we were out of our mind a long time ago.
Wait. Was there a reason why the Queen of the Dam might have settled here? Was there like life happening before she arrived here? Like before? Is there something else to this? Is there something else beneath?
He says,
If I keep digging down, is there more?
he says, I can honestly say by the gods and the stars, I know not of what you speak. But to say that there was a devil living here, in the very realm of the gods, is ridiculous. Preposterous.
Well, she did protect your city. I point to all of the vines
Yeah,
outside.
well, that's the only reason the city's still here.
He looks around. He sees all the growth and the black stuff around the walls. He says, "Horror upon horrors."
Yes. Well, so she's at the fortress, you think? And you want to come with us, right?
He says, "I will go with you, but I believe my time is short."
How short?
As I know not. But if I must go, and if he says, whether I go or not, I do hope that you would save my great-granddaughter and my people, and I would offer you all that I can in order to aid you in your search.
Wait, were you a wielder of the Might of the Sea at one point?
Yes, I was.
Well, then you should have a connection with it. Maybe you can sense where it is.
He pauses and he closes his eyes.
Like,
Flexes
is it in your treasury?
his pecs a little bit. He says, "It is nowhere nearby. I cannot sense it here."
Are you sure you don't have it in your pocket by any chance?
Yes.
She says, "I have no pockets."
But you seem strong, so you must be a worshipper of Tempest.
Who?
Tempest.
Who?
Tempest.
I know not of who you speak. Who is this
here's the
Tempest?
pamphlet. I give him the
Standing right
pamphlet.
behind you.
This guy, he's a god.
He says, "That is not a god."
Yeah, he is.
He looks at you and he says, "Are all surface dwellers so addled in the mind?"
I'm very confused on what you said, but he is definitely a god. And I believe we should go save your daughter.
Great-granddaughter.
And granddaughter, niece lady, yes.
He says, "The amulet is not here. She must have taken it with her. I would have. She took it. She must have taken it with her to save her people in whatever way she could. Although I know not what she would have done. Like I said, the amulet would not be able to protect more than but a few. And she had many with her.
Well, then we should go.
Let's do it.
As soon as they stepped out from the city, if these vines are indeed the thing that protects us, they would have been decimated by the waters."
Well, let's
Well-
hope that didn't happen.
In their defense, she was like 13. So, I mean, yeah.
We should go find our Uber.
Where's our Uber driver, Adus?
Okay.
I pull
So-
out my sending stone.
All right. So Adis, you're on the parapet now, outside the city.
Alright.
What were you doing out there?
I'm gonna cast Foresight on myself.
Okay.
Because I need to negate the disadvantage for the range of these shots.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna turn into big homie G.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just start sniping those fuckers from 1,000 feet away.
Okay, so you go into your form of Baruch, and you're using your Slaying Gaze.
Yeah. And I want to try something a little interesting, if you will allow me to try it.
Okay.
Because I know water has this funny little effect whenever it's superheated. So what I want to try to do is aim for guys that are in the middle of a cluster of guys, and I want to try to detonate the water right next to them.
Okay, so you're seeing a couple things. You're seeing this massive devil creature doing combat with the Megaleths. So the Megaleths are these things, lots of them, dozens and dozens of them, hundreds of them.
Mhm.
And you see Profane 2, not to be confused with Profane 1.
That is totally what's his bucket's little brother.
Out there doing battle with them in the water. But you see something curious. As all these megaliths are swarming in and making concentrated attacks on him, he's superheating the water around him, and you see them dropping from the water and falling apart, searing them apart with these beams from his eyes, ripping them apart with his claws. But they're also attacking back. But what you can see is that the sheer amount of time that he spent away from the city, detached from the city, is taking its toll on him. The water and the currents from the Maw of the Void are doing as much, if not more, damage to him than the megaliths are, and pieces of him are beginning to tatter away, and you can see being weakened, trying to fight against the currents. Whereas the megaliths, they swim freely in the waters, and they're beginning to get the upper hand on him, just ripping at him and tearing at him. You send beams of your searing gaze into there, and you're igniting the water. But the damage that you're able to do, especially from this distance, you drop a couple. You're able to drop a couple of the weakened megaliths out of the sky, right? But you can't come close to the sheer scope of superheated fire that he's able to put out.
I know I can't do as much damage as him, but I did say I would help.
Yeah. So you're out there and you're blasting
I'll
away.
shoot him a message and tell him to start backing the fuck up before he gets blown away. Because I really need his help later, and then we can just tag team these fuckers.
You're sending him a message.
I was sending. How big is he in comparison to me? So I'm like 300 feet tall. How big is he compared to me?
About the same height.
Okay, cool. I was hoping that would be the case.
Okay, so you're sending him a message, and you see him turn and look back, and he sees you. In that moment, a couple of megaliths land these blasts of psychic energy into him, and you see him buckle and collapse down to the ground. His body being dragged off. His grip on the ground has lessened. His body begins to be pulled away in the direction of the current. He scrambles a little bit and manages to slam a claw into the ground and anchor himself for a while. But the megaliths have turned on him and are beginning to strike him while he's down.
This is annoying. So I've been in the megalith form.
Mhm.
So I would know what would hurt it most, right?
What would hurt them?
Yeah, like if they have any
weaknesses?
damage
Or vulnerabilities?
weaknesses. Yeah, vulnerabilities.
They have no vulnerabilities.
Yes, they do. It's called Elwyn.
Well, you're not here, so.
Use your new dong.
Yeah, point the
if-
dong at them.
I have to actually physically attack them, and if I
No,
go
that's
out,
just the final bonus thing. You still don't know what it does. Maybe
if
point it at them and say it Shazam something. Who knows?
Sure, why not? I'll point the Hellspike out and say, "Die, motherfuckers, die!" to the demons.
All right, roll an arcane check.
Okay.
This is Super Dildo of Wonder. Demonic.
Let's see here. Arcane check.
Nothing happens.
And I will spark. I was gonna spark it.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
That's not what that spike does.
No, let's see here. So how long did it take me to get over here swimming as a Leviathan?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Only because you had to duck in between buildings and stuff.
Right.
And because the speed was 10 feet.
He was in the Leviathan form, and then he went to his
Oh,
large
okay,
form.
never mind that. I was like, if he was in regular form, it would be like 1 minute, right? I was just hoping.
Ooh. Oh no. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna. Oh wait, no, I already cast Foresight. Fuck me.
The megaliths begin to lash onto him. You see
Yeah,
these
I
extended
shoot at the ones
tentacles.
that touch him.
Yeah, these extended tentacles individually latching onto him. You're able to hit some of them. Your beam is not enough to kill them. It takes like, so roll damage from your beam real quick.
Okay.
Okay, that's like not even a quarter of their hit points.
That's fine.
So you're blasting at them. You're wounding a couple. Maybe you find one that's really weakened and you kill it, but for the most part, your blasts are pea shooter blasts from a distance. There's multiple ones lashed onto him now. Singular long tentacles from their mouth elongate and puncture into his side. You see that 5, 6, 10, 12 of them have all latched onto him.
All right, fine. I'll go out there. These fuckers are pissing me off.
Okay, so you're gonna swim out there.
Yeah, I'll turn into a megalith and swim out to him, and
Okay.
then as soon as I get to him, I'm going to turn back into Brock, grab a hold of him, and then I'm just gonna start stomping the hell out of the ground till they all die. Because I can explode the water like he does, not near as much damage as he does, but. And I'll pick him up and try to help him.
Okay, so you're swimming out there in megalith form.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll leave it there. Back with the other guys. So what were you doing with King Triton?
Oh, I had a question about Triton. When he cried, are you sure he wasn't crying crystal tears?
He was crying water tears, salt water tears. But you're in the ocean and it's all salt water, so.
Well, no, I meant because he had a crystal crown. Maybe crystal tears.
Okay. Deimos. Triton says to you, I'm afraid, friend, that my time is at an end. I've been apart from my body for too long, and my soul is too far attached to the beyond. He says, I do beseech you, though, save her. Save my great-great-granddaughter. He says, he holds out. He begins to unbuckle the various pieces of armor on his body. He says, these things I offer to you freely. May they strengthen your arm. May they add weight may they add power to your side. May they strike down your foes, and they serve you as they have served me in life.
I'm going to insight check it to make sure that he's actually serious about the fact that he's going to die and not try to just duck out of his scoot because he heard there's an apocalypse stuff.
You can see it. You can see evidence of it. He's way older than 200 years. He's been dead way longer than 200 years, and even a sparked true resurrection only has a very temporary hold on him. So his body is beginning to the parts that Deimos had re-pieced together, the bone and the flesh and stuff are beginning to break apart again.
Oh no, Triton, give us your blessing.
He says,
Do you have any secret in this stupid city? Secret passage or location?
He says, I did have a passageway that connected my quarters to the servants' quarters.
No!
Oh shit.
I
That doesn't
high-five
have
him
into.
real quick.
There's not till season 2 of HBO series Under the Deep.
I had many a fine midnight trysts while the missus was asleep.
King Triton, before you go,
The rumor may get really dark.
know that we shall do everything in our power to save your great-great-great-great-granddaughter.
Says, please do.
Fine.
I fear she
No.
must have done something desperate.
Do you have the GPS location on the place that we should
Yes.
go look for her?
Mark it
So I
in our
can type
map
it in.
area.
He says, she would have fled to safety, fled to a place beyond the reach of the Maw of the Void. We did have a satellite fortress far to the northwest. She would have gone for there, but how she would have traversed these treacherous oceans, I know not, especially with that many number of people.
Maybe with the debations. Maybe she done in the debations. Who?
I bring up an illusion of the map of the area that we were shown
Mhm.
over at the other place, and I say, point to where this fortress is. While he's thinking, I'm gonna ask him if those nipples are natural or if he had some work done.
So I mean, they had a satellite fortress far to the northwest, well outside the scope of the Maw of the Void, which would have been like this.
Alrighty.
Alright.
Was that the town that was like an insignia or symbol on the map?
So you show him the map, and he points to it, and he says, "That's it. That's it. That's Rithella. It was my summer getaway."
So to be with the servants, I guess. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Shh.
Yeah,
Yes, of course. The missus was very what you call possessive.
Alright, guys, you remember, I know I have the location of one of those tendrils that we can travel through my teleportation right
Yes.
outside the pool of the Maw. Remember we came in right here. Like this is where I was able to teleport us to.
No, you came over here. Over there. So basically, see this circle all the way in the bottom right? That's Lumos. Okay, so Gelly's tendrils and stuff and all those networks, they extend in the area of Lumos out and around like this. So she was able to get you to, this spot in the Maw right here. And then you went to Megalith form and swam the rest of the way to
Okay.
Anwen.
Alright,
So there are no tendrils that go out that far away.
gotcha.
Okay, Sending Stone Adis. Adis, we need to live. We think we've got it. We gotta go. Adis. Knock knock. Adis?
You get no response because I'm polymorphed, so my stone's not available for use.
Alrighty. I'm trying to remember, was I able to transform into one of these things through shape change? Oh no, I've used foresight. Never mind. Okay. We'll have to wait a day.
Yes.
I'll go find them.
Well, I said
Hold
where
on.
I was going.
He's swimming out to go fight the Megaliths.
If we can't go into Megalith form.
I mean, you guys look out the window. So basically, Deimos, King Triton offers to you his chainmail pants, his bracers,
Wait, pants. Okay.
his bracers,
Yes.
and his cape.
And a cape. Yes.
No capes. Actually, no. What kind of cape?
It's a crimson cape. It's all
You
it's
gotta
all.
get the crown too, Damus.
I'm
It's
gonna look
not
so.
even
I want that.
magical to have lasted.
Do I get that crown too? I'm gonna look so majestic as fuck.
I'm voting for the crown, the cape, and your tidy whities. That's a
Also,
perfect good
also,
combo.
is there a way we can take pictures of stuff in this? Because I want to
Like
take a
selfie
selfie with this
mode?
guy, just because this can be definitely useful
You
later
guys
on.
have taken dick pics. Of course, you can take a
Yeah,
selfie.
so I'm gonna take a couple selfies and
Sure,
like
sure.
group
It's the
picture
sending
pictures.
stone. It has options. Yes.
Yes, it does.
Alright, also, take a. This is the funny picture. Right, let's take a picture where we're like all high fiving, cool, cool, cool. Let's take a picture of us all worshiping Tempest, of course. We need to do that. And then in the Tempest stuff, we're all drinking tequila.
And he says, how about a picture where I flex?
Yes.
Ooh.
Dude, you look dope. Definitely a worship of Tempest.
Okay, so Deimos, he gives you bracers, a cape, and chainmail pants.
Okay.
Okay,
I appreciate
you want the
it.
crown too?
Get
Give
the
me-
trident.
Yeah,
Get the trident.
Triton. I'm gonna pretend I'm you for a while. Is that okay?
He says, I'll be dead. What the hell do I care?
Well, if we need you back, I'm gonna take a finger bone from you, and we're just gonna revive you again. How's that sound?
Trident looks at you. Um, Triton looks
Dude.
at you and he says,
Be pretty cool. How about this? For Elwyn's 443th orgy, we will try to bring you back.
he pauses and he looks at you. He says, fuck. I guess I have no choice.
You have no choice. And we won't even tell your lady.
He says, just don't resurrect her.
Bro code, bro code. Wait, is she hot?
She was a tuna.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm so
I
sorry.
am pot fish, you know.
It's Joe. I'm just gonna stop asking questions at this point.
Really need to. Yes.
Yes, I will take a finger from you.
Okay, and with that, he kind of his body begins to fall apart again. All right, Deimos. So we'll figure out what those armor pieces were. But you have bracers, chainmail pants, and chainmail is partially, it's got links in it, stuff like you can see through it. So
Very
But
good.
you have to wear the undiewhities outside.
Actually, I'm like, I'm trying to get, I'm trying to get like turned like a chain version of tighty whities. Yeah, so they're see-through white tighties.
I feel like we need to visit Satellizer again.
chainmail pants, like chainmail bikinis. So this is the
Yes.
opposite of the fantasy trope. This is chainmail like jorts.
Yeah,
Um,
chainmail jorts and like some whitey tighty like fancy clothing outside that like blows in the wind.
And you have a cape and a crystal crown and bracers.
See it, it
I'm
works. It's,
king
it's
of the
very much
fucking
in keeping with
ocean.
the fantasy trope.
Alright, I'm writing this down. So Deimos gets. So I can make them later. Chainmail pants.
And I will
Chainmail jorts.
identify them so that he knows what he's putting on before he does.
Yes, but we should probably save Adus before he gets murdered.
'Kay.
Again.
He is his god. I mean, where are you seeing him? I mean, he's not responding and he's not anywhere
Right
here. I
there,
don't know
and
what we're gonna do.
You guys look out the window.
Explosions and the two big things fighting things.
Yeah, you guys look out the window and you see the profane two on the ground, like dozens and dozens of megaliths around him. And you see one megalith go out there and shapeshift into Adis's big, tall, skinny form and start stomping on the ground and attacking, just like thrashing at the megaliths.
How long do you think he'll last before he dies again due to the tidal waves?
As soon as he switches into out of megalith form, his body, along with profane twos, begins to be pulled away by the water. He's attacking and he's flailing at the megaliths, but he's losing his footing rapidly and begins to be lifted away from the surface of the ground. He's being picked up along with profane two and starting to be pulled away towards the maw of the void.
Oh no.
Well, there's nothing we can do for him now. Let's go.
Polly
Just kidding.
Polymorph, polymorph.
Let's see what I have.
I
So-
guessed.
So Adis,
Maybe.
are you there?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what happens. You go out there and you start fighting with them, but basically, as soon as you leave Megalith form, you begin to be ripped away by the currents, just like Profane 2 is.
Yep, I'm just holding on to Profane 2 and I'll tell him to keep doing his little blow up the water thing and just don't blow me up, and I'll do the same thing and not blow him up.
He's being latched onto by over a dozen Megaliths, and they begin to attack you as well.
I will point blank any one of them that touches him with my gaze.
Yeah, your gaze doesn't do as much damage as his gaze does.
Oh, no,
So
it
and
doesn't, but-
there's
You're weaker than
literally
him.
there's literally dozens and dozens of them around. So you're being beat to hell, and you're also being lifted away in the water. Basically, the only thing holding you from you guys being carried away completely is the fact that you have a dozen megaliths that have hit you with their, what's this ability called?
You're roboting. Is it just me?
No, they have this
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
You were
Okay, I was
roboting.
cutting off over there for a sec.
There you go, Deimos.
Oh, yep, I've seen that one. Yep.
Oh
good.
jeez, chainmail underwear. Oh jeez. The fact that that a bunch of these megaliths have attached themselves onto you is the only thing that's keeping you from being carried away by the current. But it's also rapidly draining you. So dozens of these things are hitting you with their psychic drain, basically.
Is one of them touching me?
At this current moment, 3 of them have attached themselves to you.
Sweet. I'm gonna cast Modify Memory on one of them. With a DC of. Let's see, 42. And I'm gonna modify his memory to make him think that he just got an order to withdraw immediately and head north
Okay.
to the north side of the mall. And for all of them, too. So I'm going to plant a memory so that he thinks he just got ordered by whoever his boss is to leave here and immediately go to the north side of the mall to help exterminate the survivors of the city.
Okay. That one breaks away.
Just the one? He doesn't
Yep.
tell anyone else to go with him?
No. That one has no command over these things. He breaks away and heads off in that direction.
Do any of them look more... Does any of them stand out?
Roll a perception check.
Let's see here.
Nope.
Alright, fine.
None of them do. You're rapidly being beaten down. So your Baruch form has 2,400 hit points. You've taken about half damage so far, as more and more of these megaliths are attaching themselves to you, and blasting you with the psychic drain, which incidentally heals them from any searing gaze damage that you've done to them.
Interesting.
Inside the town, you guys see these things all latched on to Adis and Profane too, and you see one of the megaliths break off and start heading north. He is going to, since they're off southish, he will be swimming fairly close by the city on his way north.
Ooh.
Do you guys want to do anything?
Hey,
Ooh.
wait, he's going towards the city or like away from the city? Sorry.
He's on his way north, but he's passing close by the city. On his way north, Ada's basically just mind blanked him, and told him to go exterminate the modify memory to him to exterminate the people that are in that city.
Yeah, it made him think they were in the north of the mall.
Oh. I don't know what to do then, because I guess if the Megaleths is gonna go swim towards the north stuff.
It's just one, unfortunately. He didn't tell his friends to go with him.
Right. I'm going to try to communicate with this Megaleth with my massive psychic mind.
You're gonna talk to it.
To the north. Bring your friends. Ignore these whelps and the ground. This is your Aberlith main leader man. And or lady. Quickly go. There is no time to waste. They're here to stall you. I am not Deimos.
All right, so you're shouting out to it in the water. What are you doing?
I'm wiggling out because I know like they do psychically and movementally. So I'm definitely telling that mind blank one.
I say, relay this message. This is the last message you'll hear. It's dire importance. Relay this to all nearby Aberlith. Thanks.
All right, hold on.
It's-
Let's see here.
Can I help him with a Pepin's indisputable fact?
Yes.
Hold on. So let's see. Modify memory. You reshaped his memories. He's charmed by you. Permanently eliminate memories. Allow targets to or create a memory of some other event. So. Okay, so Deimos and Elwyn. So this thing. It's still a megalith, but it's been deceived to think that it's been ordered to go exterminate destroy the town, in the location on the map, the one that King Triton kind of pointed to, far to the northwest.
No, not that one. I told him that they found survivors to the north of the maw, because I don't know what King Triton has told them.
All right. Well, he starts heading to the northwest.
Okay.
Because it's the north of the maw. He starts heading in that direction. There is something in his memory that knows of a location there. So he starts heading in that direction, but he's still in Megalith. Deimos, you and Elwyn, as he's swinging by, are trying to say something to him.
Yes.
What are you saying?
Megalith, you are going the wrong north. Go north into the maw. Bring your friends and all other megaliths. We have stuff to do down there.
All right,
The god is reawakening. We must destroy it.
That could actually be a ride if Adis bites it. I mean, anyone know how to hitch a ride on one of those things?
Except for you. You have to stay here. Tell the rest of the pack to head into the maw. For this is the only way. Signing off. The Red God. Quickly go. You have no choice.
And then Elwyn makes it an indisputable fact.
Indisputable. Tell them quickly. Do not fall for these distractions of these measly two.
So, this one is a minion megalith. You hear him, he kind of turns and squeaks off some orders to the pack. Like you said. So, I'm assuming Elwyn used his indisputable fact and convinced him, just for the hell of it.
If it's within 50 feet.
Sure,
We will
sure.
swim.
What the hell?
Yeah.
You guys go to a window, you shout at him as he's passing by. He pauses, still fully believing that he's supposed to go to the north and exterminate those people there. You see him send off some, pause for a second. You can sense psychic communication going out towards the other megaliths. It's basically the equivalent of, like the whiny kid at the playground telling the other kids, "Hey kids,
Yes,
let's."
you're going the wrong way.
And all all the other megaliths pause for a second, look at him, then a half a second later turn back around and continue to beat the crap out of Adis and Profane too.
Wait. Was there anything we can do to make this guy look better? I'm gonna cast Thermatage on him, so he's extra loud. He's
Roll
like,
perception check. You and Elwin, or whoever's around there looking. You two, Renly, if you're looking. Jeez. All right. So Adis didn't see it because he got a natural 1 on his check. Deimos, you got a 29, I guess.
29 is pretty funny. I'm like a hawk.
I guess.
All right. Off. Let's see here. In the deepest, darkest shadows, far away, you look out, and you're temporarily communicating with the megalith, and you get a piece of psychic echo from his mind. And in that moment, you notice, you're aware of all the megaliths. They're all linked together, and deep through them, you hear a single voice, a great one, kind of communicating through all of them, ordering them all. So you look out and you see dozens, hundreds of megaliths out there. So let me show my parchment. So if you guys are like, here's the city, right? Here's your little megalith dude that you're talking to, right? Here's Adis over here, getting the shit beat out of him by a bunch of other megaliths all around him, right?
I'm picturing a schoolyard fight now.
Yeah, they're literally just beating the crap out of him. All around, you see swirls of more megaliths, hundreds of them, kind of like wrapping around this whole area. And deep, you're just aware of like psychic reverberations, but you do notice one deep further voice, far in the inky blackness, far away, that's kind of holding them together, and you get a small mental image of this dark one, and he looks like this.
Ooh,
Yeah, just
boy.
beat the shit out of him.
Okay.
Gonna be alright.
So do you like psychically point him out to me or something?
Yes.
We have no way to psychically.
Yeah, you can't hear anything. You're getting the shit kicked out of you.
He just psychically connected to a megalith. Why couldn't he
You're not
psychically
a
connect
megalith
to-
anymore. You're getting. That's the problem.
You're in the form of Baruch
No,
right now.
I'm
Let's
just-
see here.
Like, I've been yelling psychically at you to like transform. or
Adis,
point
you
us
are.
back.
This is more shit being kicked out of you. All right, you're down to. You're down to 400 hit points.
Sweet. So I assume I've killed at least about 50 more of them then.
No, they all heal themselves every time they hurt you.
Oh my god.
Wait, the megaliths heal when they hurt people?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you said before.
Oh fuck, then I'll just turn into a megalith and start beating their asses. No, I'm just kidding, they'd outstrip me in damage. I need to hold this for a little bit longer. So, how many of them are connected to Big Homie G?
12. And there's now 5 connected to you.
And hundreds out.
Well, the Big Homie G's too far away for me to fuck with his head. And he probably has legendary resistances anyway.
Incidentally, these creatures
Unless-
these creatures were tuned for you to fight when you all had hell spikes. So I don't know what you guys are gonna do.
I'm like, that's a
How
good
fa-
spot for a burial for
away?
Edith.
How far away? Oh, I can get away if I want to. How far away is big bad evil dude?
You can't tell. You roll the 1 area perception check.
Oh, yes, that's true. That's right. It's not the only form I have, yo.
Right. I'm just like, okay, so now what? As I look at this minion, can we like scoop out its insides or turn into a bug and like get under its scales?
Deimos, you and Elwyn, just only solely because of Elwyn's indisputable fact, you have the attention of this one megalith. His name is
Bobby.
Remy.
Start talking.
Remy.
Start talking.
His name is Remy. You have his attention because of Elwyn's indisputable fact, but it's not going to hang on very long. You have
Bring
a
us to
glimpse
your dessert.
into the megalith neural link, but he's currently been dissuaded by modified memory from Adis. So, what do you guys do? You have his attention for a minute.
I tell him, we opened up this secret pathway, Mr. Big Boss, to take out the lady down under. Quickly come by yourself, in your smallest form. It's the only way. Quickly go, we are agents of chaos.
Yeah.
Wait,
Tell him we have found the queen of
We
the
found-
queen of the damned.
We found the Queen of the Damned. We need you quickly right away to assassinate her. Pull your boys back into a formation so she can't escape.
so you're trying to talk to him. Okay, so that's what you're doing. Is that your play?
Yes.
You're trying to talk through Remy to talk to
Yes.
the big
No.
the big megalith out in the deep.
No, we're talking as if Remy is the one that found the queen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Duh.
so he reports.
But he's
it.
here also, with the Agents of Chaos, which were sent by the Red
Oh wait,
God.
I actually, Midas.
Yeah.
I would actually know all this because I'm seeing his memories get added because this spell lasts. So
Okay.
while they're talking to Remy, I would be seeing all these new memories that he's getting. And
Okay, sure.
And I could adjust his memory to make him think that he experienced what Deimos is telling him he experienced. I'll start modifying his memories to incorporate everything Deimos is saying.
Sure, he's far away, but let's say the spell works that way. Sure, what the hell?
Oh no, it does. It maintains a telepathic link with him for its duration.
For 1 minute.
Yeah, that's 10 rounds.
Quickly, big guy. Hurry up. And I will show you right here in this small alcove. This is where we must go. Come by yourself. Have your forces set up a perimeter around. It's now time to show the red guy that you're the best there ever fucking was. Yeah.
This is like the
Ready to
shittiest
move on up in
deception.
this chain?
This is the shittiest deception you've ever tried.
James, roll
What are you
persuasion.
talking about? I'm a bard.
This is like the least plausible deception you've ever tried.
Yeah, I know my charisma went down since last time.
But you have foresight at least.
Yes.
All
No,
right,
Elwyn's been foresighted.
all right. So you're trying to tell.
Yes.
All right,
I mean,
this
Elwyn
guy.
could indisputable fact it with
Okay.
his foresight.
You're trying to tell this guy, in Remy's voice, speaking through Remy, that you found the Queen of the Damned, and he needs to come and attack her himself.
Yes. Don't be a bitch.
Okay.
Foolish and stupid underling. We know where she resides. Why do you think we swarm this area and focus the maw on this land? Get back to beating down these infidels, and speak to me no longer.
I will beat your bitch ass. Come over here. Come on.
And that goes through in Deimos' voice.
Right here, right now, one-on-one, I'll fight you. I will beat your face senseless. I will crawl inside of you, and I will rip you out from the inside. And then I'll turn you around, and I'll tie you up, and I will turn you into a Michael Kors purse.
So you're taunting him from far away
Yes.
now.
I am taunting this shit out of him.
Because he's a chicken,
You're
right?
a little baby. You need all of your friends to go attack, or you sit in the shadows. It's not your face. Your problem that you have an ugly face. You probably could have really good health insurance.
He's not just a baby, he's a loser. Yes.
You're a loser, baby.
All right. So,
Come on.
so what is this? This is a persuasion.
This is straight up.
It's annoyance.
This is a straight up just Damo just telling it how it is.
This is Deimos being Deimos.
This is
There
just
should be a roll
Damos.
for that.
There is zero lying going on. He's just saying like anyone could call his bluff. He's just straight up just being like,
Come on down. I'll kick you in the face.
This is like
and then
this
I'm gonna
is
take your face and I'm gonna kick it again.
this is what roll is this? Is this a persuasion?
Athletics.
I think like intimidation, maybe. But then at the same time, he's not intimidating, he's just annoying.
Maybe it should be an
I think,
animal.
I think it's more persuasion, isn't it? Because you're trying to persuade him that you actually believe that you can kick his ass and that he should come prove you wrong.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if that's true, but even if like he reads through how bad of a persuasion it is, he should be like, "Wow, this fool thinks he can kick my ass." So it's like a double. It's like either way, it's gonna hurt his self-esteem.
So your goal is to fail then.
My goal is to beat his face. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
You can tell he's like, I'm super
Spark it,
determined.
Spark it. Spark it.
He totally believes it.
I will take your face.
He believes Deimos believes it.
I'm gonna make you kiss your own face.
So that's an 18 persuasion.
Yeah, I'm super fucking persuasive.
Oh my god, man, that is the highest you have ever rolled, maybe? On persuasion in like months?
That's what, a 36?
That's times 3.
Yes, times 3. You always triple your sparks. What the fuck?
Yes, mister. My name is Deimos, and I will take you. I don't even know which tentacle I'm going to smack first.
Okay. So a couple things happen. One, Profane 2 dies. The Megaliths finally tear him apart, and his splintered body and remnants go floating off into the currents that rip him away to the Maw of the Void. 2, you hear this thundering voice just booming across the psychic connection between all the megaliths.
Underlings, our victory is at hand. Finally, the Queen's defender has fallen. Lay waste to her domain. Tear her limb from limb in the name of our great God. I myself am coming to deal the final blow and destroy these cattle that have also arrived and taunt our great name.
You don't have a great name.
Midas.
Yep.
Because this is going to end horribly if I don't do this. I'm going to use my miracle.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to end horribly for us if I don't. I think.
Okay. All right. So careful wording. Think on how you're gonna word it. Think of what you're gonna do.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Well, I think I'm gonna go grab a spike.
Yeah. I'm
Nope,
starting
you're not
to
good.
think
Spike me, baby. Give me that spike. We changed their mind.
Nope.
We're right.
You guys.
What's this city's name?
And when?
How do you spell it?
Like, don't worry about spelling typos. You'll be saying it verbally.
No, I'm typing it out so that I could see it first.
You guys and your miracles.
This is why I'm like, it was pointless to get the health spikes. They will not last, as everyone Like, please, somehow we will destroy them in one place.
The spikes don't go away if you attack something.
I know, but we'll find some way to combine them and then explode them. You know us.
There's 7 planes, and you're on the second plane, and 3 miracles are gone.
I told you.
Let's see
Use
what's
your
it.
miracle to get all our miracles back.
Do it.
Wishing for more miracles, yes. That will totally work.
I found a loophole around that. You know, if a genie can't grant you, you can't wish for more miracles
Wish
or
for
more
more
wishes.
genies.
Wish for more genies.
So Elwin, in the first session when you guys got to Lunaria, you blew your load and ganked one of these things. I mean, you know that they have upwards of 2,000, 2,500 health.
Yeah, I did blow my load.
And now there's, a couple hundred of them.
Yep. Can we go fight the crabs?
Yeah, this seems way less dangerous.
I mean, this is pretty funny. I don't think I ever really. I don't know how I
What was
planned
the
on you
dude's
guys.
name that just died?
Profane 2.
Profane.
He originally had a different name, but the Profane 1 was named the Profane 1. But last session, that was kind of a joke on his name. He ended up being Profane 1, and this guy ended up being Profane 2. When I was playing this game, I imagined you guys sneaking about, finding the information, and trying to find the Tide Shard and get away. I didn't imagine you guys picking a fight with everyone.
Well, we started the fight. Like, we didn't start the fight. But we're sure as hell gonna fucking finish the fight.
I had a plan on how to get on this thing and have it like ride it all the way over there, but
Yeah, we were just
Datus.
precious cargo. We needed to be wrapped around his loving tentacles and taken
Yeah.
over to there.
Yeah, I was planning just like jumping on it and then just I don't know, do something to it once we get there.
we have a two-way tether,
2 ways.
so we could have tried to jump on it, missed. I
Mhm.
pull you back, and then if whenever one of us got on it, the other one would like have Renly hugged, and then just pull the other one back.
It's a Kraken leather tether.
Okay.
What you got? Using a miracle.
Okay. Here we go. You guys ready?
Let's go.
Before the gates of Anwin stands the mighty Damus, towering 500 feet tall, empowered beyond measure for 1 hour, meaning all of his ability scores are raised to 100 and his HP to 20,000. The corpses of all Megaleths within 1,000 miles on the ground before his feet, dead. I left out that part in the type, but dead. And then this happy douchebag standing 100 feet away, and Deimos is flanked by me in Baruch form and Profane 2 at full health. Nothing too overly over the top. Not like
It's a
trying to bring a
miracle.
god.
It's supposed to be over the top.
Also,
No, it's
all
true.
the Megaliths are pretty much dumb and they get beaten up. They're dead.
No, they're dead. And as an aside, because I forgot to type it in there, this douchebag, King Douchebag, when he's standing 100 feet away, he's literally raging because his honor has been insulted. Like he's like in a furious rage, like lost his mind, got to prove that he's not gonna get beat down by some little pathetic human.
Okay. So,
Actually, Midas, can I change that 1 hour to a week with the ability to shrink himself to normal size?
Anytime I want. Let's change it to that.
Actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna go for broke since it's a miracle. I want to make that permanent, and him be able to change sizes at will. Might as well go for broke since it's a miracle. Because Deimos with 100 for all stats would be so fucking epic.
okay.
Yeah, but all the corpses at the feet of Deimos would be more enraging, I think, to douchebag, and really fuck with
No,
his
but
head.
then Rick is also a Megalith, so he'd also die.
No, I excluded him from that. I want to give Deimos his epic showdown. And I also want to find out what the hell Spike does, so I need something to stab with it.
The stabbing is the one thing we do know about it.
Okay. Okay, that goes there. Okay.
Oh, and the Midas. And I would love it if the changes to Deimos can be called the Boon of Adis.
Shortest boon ever, 1 hour.
No, I changed
It's
it,
awesome.
remember? I changed it to make it permanent, remember? Now, instead of just being a God Slayer, he can look like a God Slayer.
Wait, so you made this permanent, so he's 500 feet tall forever?
With the ability to change size at will.
That's a very long statement, man.
My name is
That's a
Deimos.
paragraph. That's a will.
I think we'll be able to.
There's no limit in wording for the miracle.
No, a statement is a sentence.
Oh, I could make it a straight statement with no pauses or periods.
Yeah, I want to use my miracle now. We're gonna go with the fiery red god is dead. Get him!
You get the god of fire, who is
Okay.
like fiery and a red god.
Nope,
And he
nope,
is
yeah,
the
yeah,
type
yeah.
of symbol.
Yes.
Watch
I
that be
am-
the
I will
end
use it.
game that he thought of, like us using our miracles just to wish him dead. We haven't, because we thought that wouldn't work.
What? Actually, wait. I want to use my miracle to say that I have DM powers or GM powers. I don't know.
I am the new DM, Deimos. I write the story now.
And you are now the newest and first DM in the land. And you
Yes.
have a little table, and you have a little bag of dice, and you
Yes.
can now play games with people.
Yes, we shall now Instead of a epic save the world from the gods and all that, we will say who can grow the best type of soybeans or corn. Epic level shit right here.
There you go. It's a single statement for you, Renly.
Heard it. This guy's tiny. You is more than I thought you were gonna be. Everyone's normally way bigger.
Yay!
What
That
is
better?
this?
That works for you.
Awesome.
Does that work?
What is this tiny guy right here?
Hey, Deimos.
What's up?
Look at your character sheet. You have 20,000 health. Yo.
Dude, why the fuck are you guys so small? What the
I
hell
know.
happened?
Even in my form, I'm like 200 feet shorter than you.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you so tiny? I'm
I know.
gigantic as
You
fuck.
probably can't even see. Wait. No. What happened to Elwin? Because he was in your underwear.
Elwin is now in my crack.
You totally is in your crack.
All right,
He's in the Deimos Canyon.
all right, Deimos.
This is
So-
the smallest thing we had to fight yet.
So the
You're like an imp.
in the
Big.
raging current of the ocean depths, there is a cacophony of sound, like a roaring tempest that just supersedes the rumble and the churning of the maw. From Adis, you can see a swirl of bluish light just explode, reshaping reality around you, altering the very fabric of creation itself. And you guys all recognize it as the light of awakening, the energy of creation itself. And as it fades, not quite that big. You find yourselves all at the gates of Anwen, in the shadow of it, in the shade of it. So, in this area here, oh my goodness, the swirling tempest is not ripping you away. Profane 2 is resurrected and back to life beside you. Deimos, you are powered up. You stand as tall as Adis is, as Adis in his Baruch form. Your stats are boosted. Your hit point is amplified, and all around you, hundreds of megaliths litter the ground of the seafloor. Standing in front of you is the demon lord himself, Rigathix, of the demon of the depths.
You're a demon lord. What's your name again? We've killed so many already. He's getting ready here in my book. Wait, I don't have book. But I got this sexy man thong.
All right, roll initiative
So does he actually get the stat boost?
for 1 hour.
Like, Deimos,
You
all your
dropped
stats,
a one.
all your stats are 100.
I win.
So you
Deimos
get like a plus 30 to initiative.
For 1 hour.
I'm first.
Deimos, you're standing like a god above the rest of the people around you.
I don't even know what's wrong with me,
So
but
your
I feel
order
like I
number
took my
is
powder.
3 or something.
This
Yeah.
new shit is amazing.
Yeah, you're so fast right now. You get like a plus 50 to initiative. So you're like 3 rounds to everybody else's one.
Renly, you're standing next to Tempest. Tempest is there looking up as Deimos is towering over you. His whitey tights have expanded and his skull cap has expanded to fit his size, but none of the other stuff that he was wearing was equipped yet. So that's all he's wearing. You guys are gazing up at this massive piece of man meat, and Tempest is standing next to you randomly. He goes, "His body of Palor." He says, "What has happened? He's magnificent."
I do a double take and I'm looking at Tempest and I'm like, are you alright?
He says,
I think we need to save Elwin. He's
says-
in one of those cracks.
he says, "Elwin is lost to us now, surely.
Elwin.
We must avenge his death."
Hey, Deimos, Deimos,
Yeah.
don't forget you said you were gonna crawl in that motherfucker and tear
I
it
am.
from the inside out.
I just don't know which orifice I want to go into, Mister Megaleth, Demon Lord.
All right,
I'll
Do you
leave it up
want to
to you.
go in surprise, or do you want to see it coming?
Owen.
But you know what, Davis? You realize something. This is everything has been preparing you for this moment because you notice this guy has tentacles.
It's about time. It's
All
about
right.
time I took my first turn.
Deimos, you're up first. You rolled 43 on your initiative.
Deimos is gonna slick back his non-existent hair, and he's gonna first off by just going.
10 massive
Deimos.
tentacles roll or flailing in the water all around you.
Massive, you say? I've seen bigger things than squids. You're tiny as fuck, mister.
And then I'll jump the fuck on him. I'm gonna like jump on his head.
Okay.
I'm gonna start ripping his mouth open because I'm gonna start crawling inside.
Hey, Deimos.
Nat 20, ripped his
Oh my
face off.
God.
I ripped his fucking face off.
Yeah, it's
Add
Yeah.
another 20 to that roll,
Yes,
and you add an extra 20 to all your melee damage.
yes.
So I would do that,
Mhm.
And then I would be like,
I'm gonna reach inside of him, and I'm gonna start the ripping and the tearing. I feel like I might as well try to start pulling this guy in half.
yeah. I mean, you rip his mouth open. You start crawling inside. He tries to chew on you, but like your iron like skin just like breaks off his teeth. And you crawl down his throat, and you're just tearing things apart. You feel, various body organs and nervous, nerve bundles and stuff. And you're just ripping through them all.
And then I'll use my War God's Blessing
let praise Tempest.
as my ripping and tearing continues as I do another ripping and tearing. So I
Hey,
guess
Hey, Deimos.
add 20 more to that.
Deimos.
Yes, sir.
Since you're not wearing armor right now, your armor class is 55.
Holy fuck.
Because you get a plus 45. Your dex bonus is plus 45.
That's fucking stupid. Why can't we all have this? We should just do this all the time. Give us more miracles.
Well, we're lucky he allowed it for an hour.
Yeah.
Ellen, what do you do?
This guy dead yet?
Can I breathe?
No, you're holding your breath. I hope. That's
Ellen,
our meeting.
make a Constitution saving throw.
To not fall in
There's so much
love.
flexing and
Again.
moving.
Ellen, you are holding yourself together with a shield spell, a modified shield spell, as you're pressed deep. You're in complete darkness as you're pressed deep within Deimos' crack.
The first thing I do is
There's
I'm
no
gonna
light
cast
anywhere.
Pepin's indisputable effect
Oh,
on
wait.
Deimos.
Wait.
And tell him you do not want to squeeze your butt cheeks.
No. Before this, I knew he was in there. I would use that free action to Deimos tether him on my front mantle or my shoulder, wherever he wants. So Deimos is
On
him
a
in front.
peck.
He's on a peck.
He's already touching
Which
you.
peck?
He's already touching you.
Tether him somewhere else.
He's already tethered to you.
Oh,
I can
oh,
breathe.
you're right.
Oh
All right.
no.
I shall loosen my butt cheeks.
And then I'm going to cast using Deimos' leg as my weapon.
Yes,
I'm gonna cast Pepin's nut check
do
at
it.
8th level.
Yes, we work together here.
So you're using Deimos' leg to nut check the
I will not resist.
Yes.
the megalith. The two of you working as one. Deimos, you're inside the thing, so you kick his nuts from inside.
Yes. A promise is a promise.
You're like stomping through his interior, and smack his nuts from the inside. Yeah, what I don't know what kind of damage is this.
I think it's
It's
just
not
you.
that much.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
It's plus it's Deimos' leg, so it's plus 1,000.
Okay.
It's for an hour, Renly. You guys have an hour.
Alright, yeah, it was like, oh.
All right, and then
Oh my
I'm not
God.
sure. I'm not sure if it can be stunned or if it can like have some adverse effect getting kicked in the nuts.
Yeah, sure.
All right, and then it's my turn.
Adis, you're next.
So, let me get the visual right. Right now, he's basically like up to his like pecs in this dude's mouth
Yeah.
while kicking him in the nuts.
Yes, from the inside. And you see Damon's just standing there, just like ripping and tearing stuff. The Aboleth's mouth is just like permanently stretched open. Tentacles are flailing all around. A couple of them are wrapped around Deimos, but he's totally ignoring them.
I'm torn between standing here and laughing and actually doing something. Okay. I'll shoot. Well, since Deimos is kicking his balls, I won't hurt his balls. I'll shoot him in the head.
Okay. Roll the damages.
He probably doesn't, but does he have a less than 100 health?
No, he's fine.
Okay. That's my turn.
Okay.
Let me pass.
On his turn,
Oh.
you hear.
Ugh.
Yeah, this is the sound that's coming out. And he's flailing around. Tentacles are flying everywhere. Damon's he's gonna try to smack you a couple times with his tentacles.
Have fun with that, bitch. I will grab those tentacles. Start smacking with his own tentacles.
I mean, so you're inside, so you see so this thing is really powerful. So like blasts of psychic energy are surging out from it. The tentacles are whipping around and thrashing, smacking your, lashing at your skin and your back and stuff like that. I mean, you take a few hits.
Oh, and Deimos, you have plus 45 to all saving throws.
Oh fuck.
Okay, you take a couple hits, and he tries to. All right, so make an intelligence saving throw.
If you're proficient with the saving throw, it's plus 51.
I'll just put that in there. I'm not, so that'll be plus.
Well, your total bonus to the roll would be 45. So it'd just be a d20 plus 45.
Yep, you're fine.
Oh. Yes.
You're super
I
fine.
am so smart.
So you completely ignore any of the effects of this thing's psychic attacks. I mean, this is a higher level demon, a ruler of its own plane in the abyss, and right now, in your miracle endowed form, you're shrugging off his psychic attacks and ripping through him. Renly?
Do we want to deal with the Queen of the Damned after this? I mean, I'm just saying we have an hour or whatever. Like, I don't actually know what's going on, so I'm yelling at Adis going, "What did you do?" And is this permanent? Is Elwyn dead? Elwyn! And,
Elwyn, I just like kind of give a Elwyn's seeing the biggest cock and balls he's ever seen in his life, and Deimos is a temporary god.
Okay, would this work on the other god? And I'm pointing downwards, you know, at the. Okay, never mind. God damn it. Okay, good luck, people. And I'm just going to.
Unlike some people, Renly, I don't break my deals.
What deals? We haven't made any deals with her. Oh,
You might not have,
oh,
but I did.
Okay, like Deimos has it. And yeah, so I'm like,
But
I showed
but
it.
in all seriousness though, like there's a seriousness to it. I honestly don't think Deimos could take her, because if you guys had all taken the Hellfire spikes or the Hell spikes, maybe he could have beat her in this form. But since I'm the only one that took one, no, there's no way.
She has one turn around.
She's a fucking god.
Profane 2, go ahead. I'm just cheering on Deimos because I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, so this thing is blasting this thing with his lance attack. Shoots it a couple times. Okay, Tempest goes up and he swings it a couple times with his great sword. Just tearing into it. All right, Deimos. The thing is falling apart. Several tentacles are chopped off. Its body is barely holding together. You hear its voice saying,
What are you?
Mem Deimos. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior?
Hey Deimos, this is
Tempest.
where you tell him to bow and submit, and you'll let him live.
Yo,
That's what I say. Bow and submit to Tempest.
And I fucking like grab his head and just like do like a RTOK thing on him, smack his face down.
Is that an attack?
Oh, and tell him he has to sign a contract.
Yeah, sign a contract. We own you now.
This
Okay,
is me
you're-
starting to
You're
rip
submitting him?
apart a bit more. I'm submitting him. I have some more submitting stuff to go.
Alright, you're not
Yes.
killing him, you're submitting him.
Yes.
Yeah, man. That's my next submitting.
That's plus like 20 something, right?
Yeah, it's like an addition. It's like, yeah, it'd be another like plus 20. Because his strength modifier right now is plus 45.
Alright, he uses 2 legendary resistances to resist your submit.
It's a shame I have another one, bitch.
His last legendary resistance, he resists it.
Oh, it'd be a real shame if
I looked at Tempest and I give him a wink.
I fucking get another one. You fucking asshole.
Okay, so you crush him down to the ground. You tie a couple of his tentacles in a knot, and you're basically holding him, standing in his mouth, pressing him down to the ground. He says,
I give. I submit.
You guys, I think we won. I don't know what to do now.
I do. I
I'll
feeble mind him.
draw. No, don't feeble mind him yet. I'll draw up the contract and make him sign it. And it's basically, I am forever and always the loyal, devout, never betraying bitch of Deimos.
okay.
And will take no orders from anyone but him.
Okay.
And I will forever worship Tempest.
Yes, but that one that's a good one. Good clause.
No.
I like that.
Tell him we'll let him live if he gives Deimos all his power. He like siphons it into Deimos.
And give us your power, or one of the two.
Well, here I'll hand you the magic paper and the quill, and you write the contract, Elwin.
I mean, could you just true polymorph him into a squid while we discuss this?
I could.
Yeah, but tie him up more.
I'll true
Yeah.
polymorph. I'll tell him not to resist or he dies, and I true polymorph him into a squid.
Okay. So he true polymorphs into a squid. Deimos, you pop out of him first, I assume. And
Yes.
Oh God.
so Deimos, you're standing there towering, and he's much diminished now, just kind of flopping around.
A giant squid, so that Deimos can still see him.
Okay.
He's still in my hand. He's in one of my hands.
Yeah, he's in one of your hands now. Okay.
All right, Elwin, write the contract.
No,
what
you
do
write it. I was just
Okay.
telling you what to write.
So what are you making this guy do?
He's gonna sign this contract. It's a legal binding demon contract that basically he's swearing to forever be Deimos's bitch, never and always obey his and only his orders, and he will also every day pray 10 times to Tempest and
Yes.
forever be a devout follower of Tempest.
What's backing this? I mean, isn't it just paper and pen? Like, do we have special power imputing?
It's a thing with It's a thing with fiends.
No, that's devils, not fiends. No, just kill it, Deimos.
Give
Power
us your
word.
power.
No, I
Oh
if
wait,
that's
yeah,
the case,
yeah.
like, we can just feeble-minded and
Renly,
ride
add this guy to the telepathic bond.
We need to ride it to where we need to go, people. We don't have a taxi service.
Yeah, we do. I'm still alive.
Look at
Oh,
him.
I
He's still
wasn't
alive.
talking you. Sorry.
Mister, can we trust you to be a good boy?
He says, "Oh yeah." His voice. He doesn't have his deep voice anymore.
I speak in primordial, so he can understand me, Mister Squeak.
I awaken him, so that, like, in the sense of, like, he can speak.
Yeah. So he's okay. So he's this
Here,
demon
I'll
lord
I'll just
transformed
polymorph
into a squid.
an elf. I'll turn him into an elf so he can talk.
And he says, let's see. How would he respond? So you're just asking him without compelling him, or are you like forcing him? What are you doing, Deimos?
Oh, I'm got him all tied up, and I'm just staring at him in the face, and I'm like, hey.
Oh no,
I
you know what?
think
If I awaken him, he's charmed for 30 days.
You can charm
And I
him.
can maintain the true polymorph to keep him a squid permanently.
I do not know if it transfers, like if we transform him back, whether he'd still be charmed.
Well,
I
no,
don't
because
know.
no, you can't awaken him because even though I true polymorphed him, he still maintains his like
Oh, for
personality and
another
mind.
hour. Okay,
So
never mind.
even if I make it permanent, he doesn't stop being sentient.
Oh,
So
okay.
Mister, give us your control over everything. We'll let you live, and then you have to be a good boy, and maybe we could turn
He
you
says-
into an angel.
I'm gonna move over here, Deimos.
All right. He says, "You killed everything. Everything that I had control over is dead now."
Oh,
Oh my god.
you have nothing else you're in control of? That's it.
No.
Gonna revert.
Okay, how about you obey us, and you're now the new guardian of the sea, and you're good, and you praise Tempest.
He says, "The Red God will kill me next he finds out."
We're gonna kill him. It's really easy.
Midas. I release the true polymorph and stab him with the hellspike.
Inconvenience for you.
All right. As the polymorph fades and the hell spike enters he's regaining his large form. You shove the spike into his chest, and a horrific scream rages through him. His body's separating around it, and more so, his soul begins to be sundered, splintering apart in a variety of fragments and shards. He trembles and shakes, and for the first time for any of you, you see a demon truly die. Normally, they're just consigned to a deeper layer in the abyss, and at a much diminished level, power level. But now this one is torn to this very essence and sentenced to annihilation.
Nothing else happens.
Did you figure out what it does now?
That's what I was. That's what I was going for.
Nope, that's all that
Nope.
happens.
It just blew him up.
Do you want me to identify it?
You could certainly try if you want.
I'll sit with it and try to identify the stupid thing.
I know we're in like a
Stupid idea.
good
And I
spot.
will kind of. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I know we're in a super dope spot, but I gotta go to work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a good spot right here. So you guys have not yet tracked down the Tide Shard. You've managed to clear the Megaleths. Deimos, you're like this in this super mega form for the rest of the hour.
And I can turn into it later. Cool.
I'll reach out, like just kind of into the ether, and just say, because I'm pretty sure she's listening. I believe the first part of our pact is concluded.
Okay.
For borrowing your friend.
Yep, and Profane 2 is fully engaged with you there. Okay.
Sweet. Me and him gonna be best friends.
So
Alright.
Deimos can turn back into this Ultra Deimos form in
Yes,
future?
we will find a way.
I tried. I'm not. Well, actually, I don't think I would. I would actually have to tell Renly. Honestly, I don't know how long it will last. I was hoping for it to be permanent. We'll just have to wait and see how long it lasts.
You guys have to see. All right.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
Okay.
I'll see you again.
Jeez. Okay.
Miracle lab.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know why we didn't do this with our first miracles and just give us all 100 in each stat and call it good.
All right,
Maybe
guys.
broken. Okay,
You get
see ya.
yeah.
Bye.
No, because he would just do the same thing to all the monsters.
Exactly. Power scaling. That's terrible. Yeah. Okay. Night, night, guys.
Night, guys. See you next week. Happy
Deimos,
Thanksgiving,
you
Renly.
rip. Night, night.
Yeah, that was awesome. You owe me, Deimos.